What is going on, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I'm super excited to be here. And I'll say hey to chat, but for anybody who's new, normally I do interviews during this time, or sometimes. Lately, I've been changing it up and doing something where I do something with the community, and that's where I'll invite anybody who wants to just talk about any topic on for 5 or so minutes. And you'll get your own thing. So it's like more like a radio show, but on YouTube. Thank you, Uncompetitive. And so yeah. But before we do that, I do want to just shout out everybody in chat. Thank you all for coming by tonight. Sour what is going on? Sour I really like your thoughts yesterday on the show. If y'all have not checked it out, we have part of the Xbox International crew. We have both Sour and Silent Cypher. Both have amazing points. They do a really wholesome show over there. I love it. I will link it below. I'll link it to this channel, but they do a great job. Sanchez, what is going on? Ambi, thank you so much for everything, Ambi. As you know, Uncompetitive. I've actually been watching a lot of your streams, but you take them down. So if y'all did not know, Uncompetitive has a channel. He's been doing a lot of stuff on like Starfield and the science behind Starfield. Really like big brain, higher level thinking stuff there. Uncompetitive. I actually watched it for a couple of hours the other day, and I was actually watching it this morning before I went to work. So it's awesome job there. Wit, thank you so much for coming by. Rouster, good evening, Rouster. Are you excited about Diablo 4, the new season? I saw it just landing. I bet you are. Obi Rose Kenobi. Y'all know who Obi Rose is. Shades of Purple alum. Probably the most entertaining person in our community. Love it. Thank you for the good thumbs up there, Ambi. Streamlabs Jinx. If Remy is somewhere. I gave him oh, there he is. He's behind me. If you guys cannot see, he's back there. That's Remy. So definitely, you're unhappy with the quality Uncompetitive. Oh my gosh, you're doing an amazing job, Uncompetitive. I thought it was good. I learned something. Really made me think about it. So y'all, he's talking all sorts of stuff over there. If you ever catch his channel, but it's super deep. So if you ever want to go super deep in physics, Uncompetitive, he's got you covered. So thanks, Uncompetitive, for stopping by. If I'm not mistaken, Uncompetitive, you're staying up pretty late for this one. So thank you. Simpleton, what's going on? Thank you all. As I said, I will be dropping a link into chat here shortly. And, what I will do with that later. But before, I do want to talk about a couple of issues that are going on. What is going on, Tony Bologna? Tony, if you want to come on later and ask me questions about the NBA, I know we have a lot to talk about on the NBA. More than willing to hit on that as well. So welcome, Tony Bologna. But with that said, y'all, I want to hit on some topics that are really close. So if y'all remember last show, or maybe it was 2 shows ago already, I talked about some real world stuff that people thought I was joking. They didn't know if I was being serious, but this is real world stuff. And so I want to bring your attention to something really quick. We actually have footage of this, so I'm going to play it. Viewer discretion advised right now. Viewer discretion, trigger warning, y'all. Trigger. I know some of y'all are really close to the ocean, so you've been warned. All right. So without further ado, I wanna show you all this really quick.
Whoa.
Wait. Let me see if orange. Wait. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Oh, geez, I can't change the orientation, y'all. I cannot change the orientation. You're just gonna have to bear with me on this one. Just gonna have to bear with me. Let me see if I can do it like this.
Whoa.
Oh God. He's going for it. Oh my God.
So if y'all did not see that, that was an actual live orca attacking a boat. Y'all thought I was joking. This is an actual orca attacking a boat off the coast of Spain. This was a few weeks ago. Y'all thought I was joking. This is they upped their game. So they were here at the end of May when we first hit on this. They are now here. I just want to put that there. They were here. They've taken it to the next step. And that's not all. That's not all. I do this. Yes, Tony, they've been doing it a lot. And we actually have more footage. What is up, Chariot Man? Keep him away from order. They ordered 5 guys. Yes, Simpleton, they did. We are going to touch on that, Simpleton. They are going to touch on that. But this, I'm just doing PSA right now. Like, I really think this is, a lot of times we talk about the console wars. We're talking about the orca wars right now. This is what this is going on right now. But here, I want to show y'all another one. And y'all know this is live footage. These are not actors. This is real world. Here they are.
How's it going? There it is.
We're being attacked by orcas.
Oh my god.
Please go away.
We need assistance immediately. We are sinking.
Yes, they're killer whales, and yes, their job is they're the apex predator in the oceans. However, there's never been a documented case of an orca attacking and killing a human being. And so that they're attacking boats is very strange. But what's interesting is they don't seem to be after the humans, but there's something about the boats.
We lost both rudders.
My theory is that these seem to be like younger orcas, young adults that maybe it's kind of like teenagers running around getting in trouble.
Hey, thanks for watching.
There you go, y'all. This was USA Today. This is a real news channel. Welcome, Rudix. Welcome, Sourbelow. I'm just doing my PSA announcement, getting the word out there about the orcas because people thought I was joking. This is a real thing. The orcas are real. They are really attacking. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but they have said that the submersible, potentially there were orcas in the area. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but it doesn't take a scientist to say 1 + 1 equals what 1 + 1 equals. But yeah, that's that. You saw that they were taking apart the boat. They are trained. They are teaching each other to be trained. And here's the thing, y'all. I don't think, and if y'all are just catching me, this is Purple Shades of Purple. I do this once a month where I just talk about what's on my mind. So I'm talking about the orcas right now. I have some other topics. Don't worry. Talking about the orcas though. But here's the thing, right? You saw a lady in there. If you didn't notice, her title said whale expert. I don't trust that. I think she's an enabler. Right? You saw how she was talking about the orcas. She was giving them excuses. She supposedly has been an expert. That's what you call an enabler. And I don't trust her. But here's the other thing about the orcas, and this is how we're going to tie it into gaming. I think some of y'all already see what we're talking about. We're talking about Spain. We're talking about the orcas, right? We're talking about attacking boats. The theory that they want us to believe right now is that one of these orcas got hit by a boat, and now they're taking their frustration out on all sorts of boats. I have a problem with that. And this was brought to my attention, and I agree. Why would we be saying that about these orcas off of Spain when in Japan they've been hunting orcas? So you would think ground zero for these types of attacks would be in Japan, right? But I have another theory about this whole thing. And you were married to a I see what you did there, Rudix. Yeah, tricky. If you think about Spain, it's part of the EU. And what has the EU done since about the end of May that could trigger this type of situation? yes, if you're thinking about it, the EU did not adjudicate or litigate the Activision Blizzard deal correctly. The orcas are now taking their stuff out on the EU. They're doing it off of the coast of Spain. I predict this is going to spread across the EU, but I said it. I if something happens to me, y'all now know that is what's happening. It's going to take a lot for me to see otherwise, but that is what's going on right now. I think y'all can see that connection. That's why you have to take this stuff seriously that we're talking about. It's all connected, all connected. And last but not least, I want to leave you with this. If you hear this sound, y'all, it might be too late. I'm not going to say it, I'm not going to say if you hear that sound, there's rumors that this was the sound that the submersible heard on its way down. That's all I'm going to say. No conspiracy right now, nothing, but this is the type of stuff y'all need to be aware. If you hear that sound, it's kind of like a nuclear bomb. If you see it, if you see a nuclear bomb, it's probably done. If you hear that sound, over. Get your life insurance policies in right now, your wills, your whatever. Do it right now. But that's how it goes. With that, I can't defend you if you are Jack. I did not say anything about Sony. Sourbull, I didn't say anything about Sony. I don't understand. I'm making connections here. Oh my God. Yes, exactly, Holtz. You see, Holtz, the UK is they're surviving while the EU is going. This is the only thing I can say. If we think about the timeline, Sourbull in chat, if we think about the timeline, it's meshing. It's meshing. I'm just saying. There's one group of people who are saying like this isn't uncompetitive, so orcas are just balancing it out. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all we're going. Oh my God. I'm just saying. So that was my PSA announcement on the orcas. Just so you all know, I do follow this stuff quite frequently, as you can tell. And yeah, just if you're off the coast of Spain in a boat, probably don't be in a boat. Take it for what it is. Take it for it. Just take it for what it is. I don't even have a PlayStation. Don't even have a PlayStation, Sourbull. I don't have a PlayStation. But I got tamales. All right. So with that, next thing we're going to talk about briefly, and I promise y'all I'll drop the link here. And I'm not sure if y'all are going to be able to see this. But because I can't change the orientation, which I'm kind of frustrated I can't do right now. But with that said, I'm going to show you a little bit. This got by our radar in the gaming world. The Miss Universe pageant. I don't know if y'all follow the Miss Universe pageant, but I sometimes look at it. So they added like a new category, like they judge it differently. And this new category, it's the costumes of where you're from, the country you're from. And I'm going to put it up there. I'm not sure if the orientation is going to come out correctly. Y'all can go watch the YouTube video of it. But just want to give you an idea. And then I want to show you Miss USA and probably what the message is that they're trying to send here. So here it is. It's a short video, like 30 seconds. Bear with me.
Lego.
DJ Precise!
It goes around the world just la 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 la. It's all around the world. Now and then I think about me now and who I could have been, and then I picture all the.
So yeah, so that is now the Miss Universe pageant, and what I found was interesting in that clip as I was perusing these types of things. The lady with the soccer ball, she was Miss Venezuela. I don't know about y'all, but I don't what Jinx, what I don't know about but that I don't remember Miss Venezuela being in the World Cup like that. But that was Miss Venezuela. As you can tell, there was a lot of countries there. Miss Jamaica was represented in that organ group. But because this is, I'm broadcasting live in the United States, I'm going to show you Miss USA. I'm not sure if it's going to come out correctly, but it's, again, just bear with me, like 30 seconds, and then we can talk about it. Something just to throw it out there. Exactly something.
USA. When Americans stepped on the moon in 1969, it was one small step for man. Today, women are more involved as leaders in returning the U.S. to the moon. This delegate is representing NASA's Johnson Space Center in her hometown of Houston. Pretty soon, she'll be on the moon, USA.
So that was Miss USA, y'all. I don't think you could see it there, but she was struggling to walk. She was struggling to walk. If you actually go watch, she's carrying. Yes, that is the moon uncompetitive. You did see that correctly. Sounds like start of a porn movie. Well, Jinx, what type of porn movie is this? What type of porn movie is this, Jinx? I don't know what porn you watch on the moon. But yeah, so you're gonna have to drop the link to or don't drop the link, but explain in the chat beyond. Hey, Franklin, y'all will be proud to know Miss USA actually won Miss Universe for this year. She won it with that costume. The moon was 35 pounds. 35 pounds she had on her back. And if you actually watch the video, she's like struggling to walk. I feel bad for her. I could never do anything like that. Like, these girls train so much and do everything, even though they know that this is probably something that they're going to want to forget. But they did that. Yes, she won it. She won it. Miss USA won. I'm not lying on it. I'm not lying about this one. So someone already gave her the moon. How a guy's supposed to compete with that? I don't know. Something. Oh my! Look at that, Sourblue, connecting the dots. Does this mean since she won Miss Universe, Starfield is going to win Game of the Year? Does this mean that? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that. But we can hope. We can pray. Can't we, Sourblue? Oh. Dude, oh my God. You probably do, Rouster. I do not squat that much, but that is Miss USA. Miss USA. Did she leave the cocaine in the White House? She might have. Bless the people. If y'all did not know, there was cocaine found in the White House, a white powdery substance. So nowadays you don't know. It could be anthrax or it could be cocaine or baby powder. Who knows? But with that said, yeah, that's what happened. That as we've been watching gaming, as we've been waiting, for this FTC ruling. I saw someone on Twitter today. If y'all did not know, I don't really use Twitter except to post periodically and message people. But Threads came out earlier today. I think some of y'all have already made this transition to Threads. But on Twitter, there was a person who said they can't sleep because of the FTC deal. And I thought at that point, we take a step back, realize you can still game and carry on. So yeah, that's, or bleach powder from when Trump was in office. Yo, but hey, obviously he survived it. He surprised, what is it called? I was about to say SARS, COVID. He survived it. Who knows? David Wilson, how are you as well? who who was what? Who was what, Sourflow? Who was what? Lastly, y'all, before I drop a link in the chat, I want to show you this is a gaming channel. Y'all know I do gaming. And I am going to show you my most anticipated game for the fall. For the fall. So if you're hoping it's Starfield, you might be in luck, or you might not. But this is my most anticipated game because we're gaming. We don't get excited about games, and that's why I want to do it. But this is my most exciting game for the fall, and I hope some of y'all also get it so we can play. Obviously can't be Starfield, but all right, here we go.
All right, guys, it's a simple job. Just in and out. Nothing to it. Everybody hit the fucking floor!
Yes. Oh my gosh, I messed up my thing. Yes, that's my favorite game, or my most anticipated game for the fall. The fall. So yes, if y'all know me, you know it's Pikmin for July, which I will be streaming here. Well, I'll be streaming Pikmin here in about 2 weeks. But Payday, I'm really excited about it. So I like co-op games. So y'all know I like Outriders. I really like Rainbow Six Siege. Unraveled, or just those types of games. It Takes Two, I really like co-op, and this one is a co-op type of game, so I'm looking forward to it for that. Also, I really like Deep Silver. I think they're kind of an underrated developer, and so I'm glad that they're bringing this to us. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. But yeah, two in my queue. We'll get to it eventually. I see you there, Franklin. And yeah, so I see Callie's obsessed with it. American Concept. I love your idea there. Your thought process on that one, Roster. But yeah, I am super excited for it. They say it has kind of like a Hitman mechanic where depending on like who you're interacting with, you could like really strategize the different levels. And so I'm really excited to jump into that. And then you can have like, I think it's like 4 or 5 people on your squad to go like rob these banks. I don't know. I think it's cool. And I'm really like, really excited about it. So did you play It Takes Two in A Way Out? I have not played it A Way Out. I have played It Takes Two. Someone's told me I need to play A Way Out. So I may get to that here pretty soon. But yeah, so that's a little, like I said, this show's really about y'all kind of getting to know me, and it's a gaming channel, so I want to show y'all like I do get hyped about certain games. I saw that comment, Franklin. I saw it. I don't have a I don't have a PlayStation, y'all. I do not have a PlayStation. I cannot get excited for something. I do not have a game. So yeah. Hey, Vet! That's Cozy Gaming. Cozy. Welcome back. Just showing everybody the games I was looking forward to. If you haven't checked it out, if you're just coming onto the show, we talked about orcas, real world situation there. We talked about Miss Universe and how they have been inspired, Simpleton. I think we saw this inspired by RuPaul's Drag Race. So, at one time we had, trans people in Miss Universe, and now we have Miss Universe trying to be like drag people who are not the same as trans people. It's a whole thing. Severin can tell you all about it. But yes, that's what's going on. I'm looking forward to it. But with that, I will now, if y'all want to hop in, I'm gonna drop a link here, and y'all can hop in. You don't have to use your camera. Pin message to the top. You don't have to use your camera if you want. I'll see if you come in. We can talk whatever you want. So Tony, if you're still there, I know you had some questions about the Rockets, Houston Rockets, that is. Basketball fan, y'all know I'm a huge basketball fan. Gaming, any of my videos recently, Franklin, if you ever want to talk about my opinions, or Sour Blow, or if y'all have experience with the orcas, whatever it is, everything, there's nothing off limits here. This is a community stream to really like bring the community together. Oh my God, Cowboy, King of Entertainment, King C, how are you doing? Yes, no, we do need to play Darksiders Genesis. And I said when PlayStation makes a better looking PlayStation, y'all know how I stand on this. I have values, I have values. And if PlayStation wants my money, it's gonna have to look better. I don't want like this show. Oh, we have someone here. Let's see who it is. Obi,
Yo,
what is going on, Obi?
what is up, Purple? What you doing? I gotta come and hang out with you
Oh
for
my
just
gosh,
a
Obi,
little.
thank you so much. What's going on?
Oh man, I'm just sitting here chilling. I'm in the lab right now, labbing up some Chung Li. Yo, look, let me tell you. Yo, I was out. If I could speak tonight, I can't. I was out on vacation, right? And I got this controller so I could play these games, and I'm chilling, right? And all I did was lab Cammy. Yo, my Cammy in this game is insane. I just wanted to say that. I
was watching you. So I was out yesterday, but I was watching you, I think it was last week, and you were starting to talk about Cammy. Cammy.
Yeah, so I used Cammy before, but I haven't really played. And so like now that I'm really getting back into this, I'm just enjoying it. This game is all that in a bag of chips. What a big bag of dip. Can't wait for that Mortal Kombat, but you know me, I'm all about that Tekken.
Oh my gosh, Tekken. So if y'all did not know, Obi Rose has on Wednesdays Obi's Cantina, and does all sorts of stuff right now. He's doing Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat. I may have to get a PlayStation for my brother because of Mortal Kombat.
Listen,
actually,
you're gonna have to get. Today was Combat Cast. Oh man, the stuff that they were doing in that was just insane. I was like, yo, this is happening. So like, it's like, yo, you gotta get it. You gotta get it. And for cameos, yo, they put Sector and Cyrax back. I was like, yo, I am sold. Let's do it.
Oh my God,
game is gonna be dope.
I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, we gotta get hyped. Like what chat? Yeah. What is your games that you're still looking forward to? And if y'all say Starfield, that's okay. That's okay.
Wait, somebody was trying to get you a PlayStation earlier. They said, yo, you play on PlayStation. I'm like, oh, let me find out Purple on PlayStation. I ain't get the invite yet.
If you say, this is the thing, I don't get these people. And I see we have our next guest, but we're gonna talk over for a couple more minutes. I see our next guest there. But here's the thing. I don't say Xbox is the most amazing thing. I have 2 Xboxes. I stream from Xbox. I bought like every single color of a controller for Xbox. And because I say something remotely, like Xbox isn't the greatest thing. If I don't go say that, it's the most amazing thing. I am labeled a pony.
Nah, listen, let me help you out. See, the people who are labeling you ponies, they don't know you. Because you say it all the time. I don't care what you play. I don't care how you play. I just care that you play. I
don't care. I don't care where you play. I honestly don't. Like, I have this one. I have the Shades of Purple, which I gotta get Cowboy's purple controller. And I have
Whoa.
this. I have like all these different.
Do you see the shade in the chat? Look at Rue. I beat Obi on a Monday Night Fight in DBZ Fighter. Yeah,
Whoa,
he
Rude,
did.
Rudix is solid. Rudix is solid. She's.
Yeah, he is. Oh, I'm shocked Cowboys. I'm shocked Cowboys not talking trash about me. But
Oh,
but,
he's
yo,
not.
but
He's,
listen.
you know.
Oh, look at him, let me in. Nah, we're not letting you in, bro. I'm gonna tell you why.
He's
Cowboy.
coming.
Because I'm better than you. That's why.
He's coming. You know. He's in the queue, Obi. He's in
Yeah,
the queue.
listen, I just wanted to pop in. I wanted to say what's up. I want to tell you, listen, I love everything you're doing. I love these shows. I think they're awesome. I love the new content. You get it talking. I literally was showing my wife. I was like, yo, look at this. Look at this. This is an orca. She was like, oh my God, that's really happened. I'm like, yeah. So
right.
like, yo, keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh,
Keep
thanks.
running. This is awesome. We love it.
Thank you so much, Obi.
So,
and
and listen, put Cowboy to the back of the line. That's all that I care about.
Yeah,
Make him
he's-
go to the back of the line.
He's a wait. We're gonna get him in here right now. But thank you,
Yeah.
Obi Rose.
Enjoy. Thank you for having me. Appreciate
No,
you.
Thank you, Obi. Thank
Pay
you.
space.
Obi Rose, y'all, Shades of Purple alum, super awesome dude, most entertaining, can sing, can do fighting games. Catch him on Obi's Cantina on Wednesdays. Super cool dude. So with that said, y'all know we're bringing it. Here he is. 3, 2, 1. Here is.
Hey, Purple, first of all, we starting off with the cakes.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Now, listen, Purple, this is the Purple Haze Show and everything goes down. So these kids better be in bed because this going down. Now, first of all, Purple, you got that Willy Wonka fake Lenny Kravitz up on here? Like this guy, Obi Rose, nothing. Let me tell you something, Purple. You see why I wear these belts? Because
Why
this
is
is I am untouchable. Everybody in the chat, Dorgan that wears skirts, Rudigs that wish he lived in New Jersey, like they got nothing on the Cowboy. Now, for all the new people who don't know me, you'll get to know me. So, Purple, one, you owe me Darksiders Genesis. You up here talking about co-op. I'm like, listen, I just met my new baby granddaughter today.
Quick, Cowboy, let's say Cowboy has a new granddaughter. If y'all know Lena Love, she was pregnant.
Sonima did. Lena is pregnant.
Oh, the
so I'm
other
about
one.
to have two. I'm about to have two.
She about to have
So
two. Okay,
Lena's
Cowboy,
pregnant.
you give the information because I messed
So
it up.
Lena is due. You guys know Lena Love. She's due in November. No, sorry, she's due in February. I messed this up the other day. And Sonima, who has my granddaughter Avery, just had a new baby. Her name is Delani Rose. But we ain't here to talk about that. So anyway, I'm coming home from taking my granddaughter because it's her birthday tomorrow. So I came over. She said, G-Pop, it's my birthday. I said, I know it's your birthday, girl. Shut up. What you think I'm here for? So I said, here, you got $40. I'm going to give you $40. So this is what happened to me, Purple. I said, here's $40. She said, thank you. I said, or do you want to go shopping? She said, shopping. So I go to this Walmart and I'm walking in there and Sandy said, you taking her shopping? I said, yeah, you know. Man, the first thing she looking at, Sandy said, that is $60 right there. I said, damn. So I leave out there spending $113. Now, that's a little background on the Cowboy. Hold up. Background. All right, now. So,
Oh my gosh.
listen, hey, Purple. It's because on this show, Purple, we get to be wild. Now, Purple, I'm going to show you this. Now, I told them on Ultimate Stage in Evolution, I had surgery just a month ago, Purple. Purple,
Don't
look
hurt
what I can do. I went to
Don't hurt
physical
yourself,
therapy
Cowboy.
today. You watching? Purple. I went to physical therapy. Watch your boy. 30 days later. Let's go.
Oh, Cowboy,
Let's
don't push
go.
it. Do not push it.
I know. But listen,
Dude,
I
I'm pushing.
gotta get these guns back. They small right now, Purple. Anyway, Purple.
Oh
so
my
what's up?
gosh. Well, good thing you don't need a license for a water gun shooter. So that is good thing for you. What is that? I mean, it's almost Super Soaker, Super Cooper,
You know,
1500
just
XP.
wait. They said 6 months later, I'm gonna be back in the gym. So I gotta wait 6 months. But Purple, what's going on? Purple, you got the flyest show on Thursday night. Listen, that's why I didn't even do my show today. I can't go up against this.
I was looking for it. I was looking because I do it as I'm getting off, work.
Yeah.
I have it on. It wasn't on.
Yeah, so now I went back to work yesterday. So now I gotta go to physical therapy after work. So I picked Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so I figure, and I met my granddaughter. I took my other granddaughter to shopping. So I was just like, you know what? Can't do the show today, but I ain't missing Purple.
Oh my God.
Nah.
Thank you for coming by. And
Oh, Purple, what you know about this, Purple? All right.
What it?
Anyway.
I don't want you to get hurt.
You don't got
Cowboy.
the dance move.
I don't want you to get hurt.
Come on, girl.
I remember a month ago to this day, you were not.
I was jacked up.
You had it on the
But
sleeve.
now, hold up. Yeah, come on, baby.
How would you
Cowboy
not
is
hurt
back.
yourself?
King of entertainment. They can't hold me. You know what, Purple? I'm out of here, man. Let me get my belts and get up out of here.
Cowboy,
But listen, all y'all in the chat, if you ain't watching Purple Haze, slap your mom. I'm just saying. Hey, Purple, tell them. If they not listen, I want to see in the chat. Just repeat it. If you not watching Purple Haze, slap your mom.
Mama
Just
Hayes
saying.
is probably in chat right now watching this. She doesn't
All right,
comment.
no,
She
we're
watches.
not saying slap Mama Hayes. We're saying for them to slap their mom. Just saying.
Oh my God! Well, we got cakes, we got roundhouses, we got granddaughter announcements, we
Yeah.
got championship type
Yeah.
of stuff. We have got to go play Darksiders Genesis. If y'all have
Yeah.
not played it, you got to do that. And what
We got it all.
else?
And we got cowboy hats.
Cowboy hats. Can't have a cowboy without a
Purple.
cowboy hat.
King of entertainment. That's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I'm here for.
And
But I
y'all
gotta
did
get on
not-
your level.
No, if y'all did not know, Cowboy was the first Shades of Purple guest. If you want to go back and watch that interview, learn more about him, go watch it. Obviously, we got to bring him back for a part 2. We got to bring back so many of y'all for back for
Anything for Purple. Anything.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Cowboy. I
Yeah,
mean, thank you. And before you, what game are you looking forward to, Cowboy?
All right, let me just say this real quick. They're gonna get mad at me. I honestly don't think Final Fantasy 16 is the creme de la creme. Now, the action is cool. Graphically, it's not the greatest looking game, and the story is so drawn out, but it's super epic and over the top, which you know I like. All right, so I just had to say that. People gonna get mad, but I'm looking forward to. I'm a big Transformers fan, so I want to see more info on that Transformers game that they're working on. That the top of my list. Also, guys, remember Land of Stadia, Death Carnival. It's still in the works. I'm still in the in their Discord. They still kicking it up. So that game I've been looking forward to forever. So when it drops, I'll be the first person playing it. And those are probably the 2 games on my radar. Those are my 2 must-haves.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So no, that's super. So if y'all see those, obviously Cowboys getting excited. And speaking of games, y'all, you mentioned it, Stadia. If y'all remember last week, I want to say,
Works.
Tequila Works launched today. Guilt. If you haven't seen it, go back, go watch the interview, learn more about Raul, the creator of Tequila Works. I did a playthrough of it. Beautiful, beautiful game. Highly, highly recommend it. So super awesome stuff there with Tequila Works. And if y'all run into Doc Dark 1985, also remember, I think it's his birthday today.
Oh, it's Doc's birthday today?
It's sometime. It's coming up. So if y'all run into Doc, it's either already happened or something. So, Doc.
Doc ain't important. It doesn't matter.
He just looks like he's 65 years old, but he's only like 25 in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you so much, Cowboy. We're going to cycle through with everybody.
I get
Cowboy. But thank you for coming on, and we are going to bring in. We got a new viewer. I think, Cowboy, you know this one, but without further ado, we're going to bring in someone new to the stream. So thanks, Cowboy. And without further ado, we are going to bring in Uncompetitive.
Hi.
Uncompetitive. What is going on?
Well, I thought I should turn up since you're my only viewer today.
Oh my God. No, Uncompetitive. It's all good. What is going on? It's late over there, isn't it?
Well, it's about 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
But when I do Thrash's streaming, King Thrash?
Yes, I do know. Thrash was a Shades of Purple alum. Did you see Thrash's episode a few weeks ago?
Because he starts at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That means that's 2 a.m. for me.
Oh, wow.
And by the time it's done, it's 6. And then I have a chat with people afterwards to catch up with what they're doing. So I go to bed at 10 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So Uncompetitive. So you played Stadia, right? You did play a little bit of
Yes.
Stadia way back in the.
I thought I should take it on so I could review it for the Roundtable podcast.
Okay, so you did that. Then but you've always been PlayStation.
No, I started off with an N64. Then I got
Okay.
an Xbox 360. And then I moved on to, I was having Xbox and PlayStation after that. But I never had a PS3 or PS2 or PS1. And the reason why I'm like fairly late to consoles is that at the time everyone had like an NES. I had like British computer, British personal computers.
Right.
So there was a period there when there was things like, the ZX81 from Sinclair. My brother had one of those, and they had like a game where it was like a maze, and you walk around the maze, and it's 3D, but it's all done with text characters. And then you get to the center of the labyrinth, and you get chased by a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And
Sounds
it was
like an
actually
amazing
quite
game.
scary. It's actually quite scary, but it's actually just
Sure.
blocks of text. So yeah.
That's super awesome.
It's like being scared by an email.
Super awesome. So uncompetitive, for people who don't know, like you do some game development yourself, don't you? Or a little bit.
I'm not
Yeah.
being paid by anyone.
But you
But I'm
know a
fairly
little thing
serious
about game
about it
development.
because I've invested money into my.
And
Yeah.
so in your own game, and are you launching this game on Steam, or are you doing anything?
Oh, I haven't got that far with it. So it's probably, it might be an alpha in 5 years' time.
Okay. Can you give us any sneak peeks or previews or anything like that?
Well, I don't have a website, and I'm not doing a Kickstarter because I looked at what Sean Murray did, the guy behind Hello Games and No Man's Sky, and I thought it's absolute mistake to go off and say anything about your game to a community that you might actually change. Because if you're in the interview and you're like a year or 2 years out of making the game and launching it, and you say it has multiplayer, and then for certain technical reasons you can't do it on delivery date, then you kind of like, oh, shouldn't have said that, And he was saying all sorts of things, and it gave a kind of negative launch to it when it could have had a positive launch if he'd said less, right? But I think it's reasonable when you're working on something and it's like a series of prototypes and you don't know quite what you're going to try and make because it's all changing all the time as you go through development, that you can change things for aesthetic, technical, or business reasons, right?
Right.
But the thing is that when you're doing marketing, you should be very mindful of everything you say about a game and only commit to things that are true. And where he was wrong was he was like enthusiastic about talking about his game, and I just wanted to kind of gush about, it does this, it does that. At the day he said it, it was true. But when it came to the actual day of release, it was like, well, that's no longer there. And one of the reasons was that his office got flooded. Right, so he had a version of the game that did some of that stuff, and then they lost that code and they had to redo it. So, there are reasons, right? And there were a lot of people at the time the game came out that were very cross that it didn't do multiplayer. And I made a video a long time ago about that, addressing that concern, saying that I've looked into it and I found through the Internet Wayback Machine that at no stage did the Steam thing say that it had ever sold as a pre-order for multiplayer.
Wow.
At every stage, it said it's a single-player game. So they've never lied about that. But what had happened is that if you bought the box version, they'd had to stick a label over the back saying that where you peel off the label and it says multiplayer. So they had to amend the boxes because they printed the boxes when it still was multiplayer.
Wow.
Right, so it's up to the very last 11th hour that they said, yank that, it's going to crash our servers because of the server load. We don't think we can do it. And then when they found that they could do it, then they put it back into the game and it was free as a free update. So what I'm hoping is that because the Starfield game has had like a year's delay, because Microsoft bought it and they said, let's have it for the Xbox Series X and then give Bethesda plenty of time to develop it and tune it and polish it, and would bring in our own people. And they also bring in people, I think, from ID. So I think the gunplay is probably improved as a result of that. I think it's going to be like one of the most stable Bethesda games that's ever launched. And
I agree. I think it's going to be a great Bethesda game.
Okay. Now, whether it's going to be interesting is another question. Right?
Competitive, we're not going to get to it. We're doing good.
I'm just saying that in terms of software build quality, I'm like, you know,
we're not going to get into it. We know Starfield and this Sourblow's left, but we may have Franklin still in the chat, and I know we have a couple of other people. Starfield's going to be. We're going to say it. We're no bugs. I think we can say that's going to be a smooth game. I think it's a smooth game launch. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
And it'll be a step forward for Xbox.
The game I'm working on is more ambitious than Starfield.
So the game you're working on,
Yes.
so if y'all are just joining us, Uncompetitive is a game developer. He is developing his own game. It will be an alpha 5 years from now.
Yes.
And he is going for something more ambitious than Starfield.
Yes, bigger than GTA 6.
Bigger.
Than Starfield. Bigger than, you name a game, it's bigger than that game.
Well,
bigger
I know.
Than Star Citizen.
It's bigger than Star Citizen. So this is a big. Because I was seeing
the difference between my game and Star Citizen is proper multiplayer, and it's very, very hard to do because you'd need to have a server and have people come on the server and leave and everything. So I'm not doing that, but I don't think that's very fun gameplay. So I think that what I might do is have it so that people can be like it is in Destiny, where they join together and they go out together in a spaceship and they fight something that is computer generated.
Right.
You know, like mob enemies and things.
And I was watching your because I watched both days. You streamed today and you streamed yesterday.
Yeah.
And earlier this week. And so what I was watching is you were talking about potentially using AI in your
Oh yes.
So that is a big part of the game that you're thinking
I'm
about.
going to do something no one's ever done in the game before. So it's not just going to be like other games all mashed together and kind of like the best of all possible games. It's actually going to try and do something new. I thought otherwise, why do it? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a co-authored narrative. What that means is that rather than the game being pre-scripted and it has like a bunch of writers writing the plot, like Red Dead Redemption 2 has a plot and all the things that can happen in that game already known before you start playing. It might be non-linear in how they turn out, and might have multiple endings, but everything that happens in the game, you know what's going to be, you know what lines of dialogue is going to be, right? In my game, the game works out what you're doing and then thinks, what can I have happen that will make it an interesting game for you? And between you and the game, it then tries to create a story. But it's more sophisticated than just being a side quest thing, because it's actually understands an underlying theme and it's trying to get that underlying theme across. And then it has you entangled with the NPCs that you meet, which your character is rewarded for how you play your role, because you're not playing as you're playing as a role within the game. So you pick a role, like you might play a heroic character, and then that means that you might have a free sense of I'm going to pick a girlfriend in the game, and it seems to be an unforced choice, and then that girlfriend gets kidnapped by the mafia, let's say, right? And it's like, well, what are you going to do to get her back? Do you go to the police, or do you go and try and,
you go get the other mafia?
Well, yes, exactly. There'd be all sorts of options. It seemed completely free how you go about doing this. But what it's got you on the hook for is the notion of like, you care about this girl now, right? And so it's important that that part of it works. And that's why you have the system of reward, because you only get kudos points if you play your part as your heroic character. And if you go against that character and you just say, I don't care about the girlfriend, I'm just going to fly around in a helicopter or something, then she might get killed, right? There's consequences to you just goofing off. So it's important that you have that in there. Otherwise, the ability for you to just treat it as a game rather than as a narrative would mean that you'd be able to be too free, and it wouldn't have any pressure to compel you through to the next plot point.
Right.
So it's trying to set up a plot point all the time, but it's not that bothered about all the details of that plot point, just that it fits the theme. So it's very dynamic and free about where that plot point could occur geographically and temporally within the world, right?
So, yeah. So
it's fitting a story and coming up with a story around what it can manipulate you in as it goes along. And ultimately, it can contrive a dramatic conclusion. So it has an ending.
within that,
Yes.
so if you're just joining us, Uncompetitive here, he's been part of the community,
Yeah.
As part of the roundtable with King Thresh. If y'all remember, King Thresh came by a few weeks ago, talking to us about the game he's developing, bigger than Star Citizen. And we had a question: bigger in what? Like map is bigger or story is bigger? Like
Yes.
bigger?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Bigger in every respect.
Bigger in every respect.
Yeah. It's not proper multiplayer.
Okay. And so he was telling us a little bit about how he's going to be using AI to kind of generate this narrative, but it'll be more
Yes.
free flowing in the plot points throughout the story. If I understand correctly,
Yeah,
there
it's
are
not like ChatGPT AI. It's not using a neural network. I had the idea to do this game long before that technology came along. So I already had worked out how this could all be done. And then this stuff where you ask it to write a story about an owl that a boy gets lost in the woods, and the owl talks to the boy and says, I'll lead you all the way out of the woods back to your village. And it makes friends with the lonely owl. And I got ChatGPT to do this from this prompt, and it wrote a story better than I could come up with. And I was like, oh my God, I could publish that. And then I thought, hold on, I can do better than that. I could take the lines of each paragraph and then give that to Deviant, and the thing that draws the images, the thing that illustrates things, say, do it in a woodcut style. And I've got myself a children's book in about 20 minutes.
It's incredible.
It is incredible, isn't it, these days,
It's
But
so
I
incredible.
just thought the next thing is going to be video games that have stories that are going to be adaptive to how you want to play them. Now, this is how it would be for a fixed character. So you have a set of fixed character choices, and you do that. The next thing beyond that is even subtler, because I want to make it so you can just start playing it however. So you just go into it and you just reacting to the world. And I thought that doing it that way initially might mean that people would just feel, I don't know what I can do. I don't know what's permissible within this world. What are the limits? What are the boundaries, right? Whereas if you've got a role, you know to act within that role. So if you have the training wheels taken off, that's more like a kind of New Game Plus. So with that, I'm thinking, okay, a lot of people might be, a priest in their real life, and they might never do anything wrong.
Not a lot of people, but some.
But whatever it is that they do, they might be a policeman or something, right? But then they play a video game, and then they're the gangster in the video game.
Right.
Or they're a gangster in real life, and they play a policeman in the video game, right? Because it's the opposite of who they are. But I don't dictate what they should have to choose to be. They can be themselves and play as themselves and see how that works out for them. Or they can play an alter ego of their own creation. The game needs to work out what that character is. Let's assume they're playing as an alter ego, right? It needs to work out a personality profile. So in order to do that, it can't just say, here are the set of profiles, you pick the character closest to you. What it does is it has you play the game, and then it throws things, a subtle personality test at you by giving you moral choices within the game. And then it goes, oh, you chose to do that. You're that sort of a person. And it
I like it. I like it as a conscious system. It has a conscious system.
Definite, because you did it twice in a row. It's like, yes, you seem to be consistently, you don't like injured animals. Therefore, we can know, certain traits about you because of that, right?
I love it. Well, Uncompetitive, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Uncompetitive. We got our next guest coming up, but no, I love it. I'll be on your channel. Don't take them down if you can. Your videos, that's his Uncompetitive. He has a channel if you want to look at it. But thank you, Uncompetitive, and for coming on. For putting, I love talking to you. We got to bring you on for your entire show, your own episode of Shades of Purple. But with that, any last words before I bring on our next guest?
Well, I spoke about this on I don't know if you know Sick Humor TV. Do you know he's on the round table? I was on his show and I got into talking about it. They drew it out of me what it was I was working on. And they were all cracking up laughing and they were saying, this sounds like Skynet.
Yeah,
it was so advanced that they thought it was going to take over the planet and they were really worried. But it's funnily enough, it was like a year or two before all this ChatGPT thing came along and everyone was worried about that. So they were worried about my game taking over the world before they were talking about OpenAI taking over the world.
Well, I am looking forward to it, y'all. Uncompetitive here. He's building games, doing amazing stuff. Thank you, Uncompetitive. Thank you for coming by. And I think we have it. So
click leave, do I?
Huh? I could pull you off, and then I think we had one of your countrymen here. Give me a second while I bring them on. Thank you, Uncompetitive. Take care.
Bye.
And I think we had. Okay, I just had him. We lost him. So I had Holtz. Where'd you go? You were there. Oh my gosh, I lost Holtz. But Uncompetitive, thank you so much for stopping by. Holtz, if you're having some difficulty, let us know. If y'all want to see in the meantime. No, I did not mess up the transition. Holtz dropped off. But because y'all are in for a treat and he wants to be on here, we'll do what we always do when we need a little filler. Y'all, Remy's here. He got a haircut. So this is Remy, y'all. Remy. This is he's here. He's having a ball. He's like, Mom, what are you doing? I know, Remy. Let me get this on. Okay. There we go. All right. There he is. Oh, there he goes. There goes Holtz. All right. Holtz, there you are. Holtz, can you hear us? There we go. All right. Holtz, can you hear me? Oh, there he goes. There goes Holtz.
That was my trick. My trick was.
There you are. Oh my goodness. I think you're there. Can y'all hear Holtz? Because if y'all can hear him, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, Holtz. I can hear you. There. Y'all hear Holtz?
Hey, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? Holtz, I can hear you. Okay, could y'all hear Holtz? Rick, he does, doesn't he? He does. He's right here. I leave his hair on. But yeah, Holt's got to turn down his stream of you. Oh, maybe that's it. Here's Remy. I am out of treats though. So I may have to get Remy another treat here pretty soon. We could hear. Yeah, I could hear him too, but I guess he couldn't hear me. So maybe his headphones were off or his voice thing was off. So you will wait for that. And in the meantime, if y'all cannot tell that, there he is. If y'all cannot look at that, Remy, put your ear down. That's him right there. That's Remy. Can you see us? We kind of look at the same a little bit. He is not having this. He's not having this tonight. He's like, he is like, giving me the eye. Remy, I don't have any more treats for you, buddy. Oh, I kind of do. What is this? What is this? What is this? All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Holtz, what about now?
You know what it's like when you're actually trying to
Yeah,
set
I
stuff
think
up.
we can hear you, Holtz. We can hear you.
You know what it's like. It's all these new presets. You join in a new studio and everything's defaulted to something that it shouldn't be defaulted to.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I was sitting there saying that was my trick. I hit off camera so I can get Remy on the chat. And I was like, that's perfect. More Remy shots.
More Remy.
More puppy cam.
You know, I am going to do a stream with just Remy one day, just with him, but he is not having it. Holtz, what's going on?
Yeah, so just before I wanted to come on because Cowboy mentioned Final Fantasy 16, and the guy previous before just said he was mentioning a game that was locking content behind New Game Plus.
Yeah.
So I was actually thinking, in Final Fantasy 16, they've locked modes and they've locked content behind a first playthrough. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, that's such an old school method to do in games these days, to get people invested in such an open, huge world of hundreds of hours just to lock features away to get you back in a New Game Plus. So I was actually thinking to myself, why incorporate this feature in today's gaming? Does gamers actually want this?
I don't. So you're saying, do gamers actually want this thing that the first playthrough, you don't get all the game? You have to play it a second time.
I put 70 hours in Final Fantasy 16. And I note when I started the New Game Plus, it said all these modes were locked behind. And I was like, I haven't got time to do all this again just for the bitterest content. They should have put it in the first playthrough that I done. You shouldn't lock anything these days. You should just have an option. Do you want to do it in a game or don't you want to do it in the game? So when I was hearing about the development of this new game and content was getting locked behind a New Game Plus, I thought to myself, do we really need that in today's gaming?
I don't know. So, chat. So, what do y'all think about this? So, they're doing this in Final Fantasy 16. What's another game that does this? What's another game can you think
He
of?
agrees.
Yeah, Remy agrees. You know, I'm about to have to go get him another treat here pretty soon. But what's another game, Holtz, that does something like this? Because obviously Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom, you can kind of do. There are certain things but those are expansions that you.
Well, I know back in the day, years ago, there was like Devil May Cry used to lock behind modes and stuff like that, and used to always have to start normal and hard and extra hard and stuff like that. And I just feel like with the type of gamer, you should just be able to jump in the modes they feel that they're skilled or they're willing to consume time in a playthrough. So there's a few games, but as of late, I've just been mentioned. I played Final Fantasy 16, so I thought that's the nearest one I can relate to that people are playing now. And I was wondering, would people put a second playthrough in games? Do people buy games for replayability?
So
for
let's think
extra
about Diablo, right? So we have Rouster in chat. Do we have Diablo players normally play through the game multiple times? No.
See, that's different character classes, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So I'm just trying to say, would you like content to be locked behind like a harder difficulty, story content? What do you really get out of it if you actually lock content to a second playthrough?
So I agree. I think if you're playing a game, so I think there's a right way to keep people engaged to your game, right? Versus having to play an entire another playthrough to get the extra content. So we have a lot of stuff. So we have Obi Rose saying the problem is there's too much content. You know, we have JD. I see you there. Let's play Final Fantasy in Destiny 2 today. Destiny 2. We don't enjoy games.
I'm not a hardcore player, should I say, on harder difficulties. But I was playing Final Fantasy 16. I just mentioned it again, and the hard mode was locked behind the first playthrough. And I thought to myself, as I was playing the game, I was going, "Wow, I should be able to select this option." Because I thought the game was quite straightforward on the normal option, so I thought I should be able to select that. And where I wasn't complaining about it, I was like, I bet I know a lot of people that will be really upset about playing a 50 to 70 hour game and then losing this feature. And then as I actually finished the game, an option popped up and said, new content available in the harder difficulties. And I thought to myself, if I was limited on time, And I could do
Then you
one
could-
playthrough. I'd be really upset if stuff was locked.
I see
So
what you're
that's
saying. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would be frustrated if there was new content. You beat the game, you just sunk in, especially some of these longer games. So the last game that I played, not including Zelda, that was super long, was Darksiders 2. And I sunk in like 70 hours to that. And I think if I had sunk that much time into it, I would be really pissed off if they then said, you need to do it again to unlock like another level or so, to do something. And it's not.
So I was feeling like it's an old way of thinking. I mean, games back years ago, 90s and early 2000s, the game was only about 10 hours long, say like Devil May Cry. So I can understand getting your money's worth out of a game because you're quite short narratively and the games are very short. But when you got open experiences, unlimited maps, unlimited spaces to go, I thought to myself, why would you lock content behind that? Because I would hate to put more hours in just to be told that at the end point when the credits roll.
I mean, I think, and this is kind of similar to what Uncompetitive was saying. You know, I think this is a very linear game design. If you can, right, I would rather have it something more open to experience anything that you want to go experience in the game. Like, show me everything you have. But maybe that's an open world design versus like Final Fantasy is designed to be linear, correct? Yeah, I still think but I agree with you. I think it'd be frustrating.
Yeah, this Final Fantasy is great. This Final Fantasy is great. I don't know what Cowboy was saying, but I was like, no, this is great. But I was upset with the idea of teasing me. Do I need to put more hours in now to find new content? Now, what happens if I put more hours into this game and I feel like there's no extra content? I've just been conned by a messaging system.
to play it again. So, Holt, I have a question for you because you played Final Fantasy 16. You went through Tears of the Kingdom just so you could play it on its release. What? Because we just got some information today about Final Fantasy 16.
What was the information?
The information was Final Fantasy 16 sold 3 million copies.
Ooh, yeah, that's not bad.
And then a huge drop off in the second week.
Yeah, I mean it's fans. It's all the fans that are interested in this, isn't it? I mean, I think that's average. I mean, I didn't know what Square Enix was projecting. Was they projecting 10 million?
I don't know. I don't know, but right now a lot of people are saying that that's an L.
I mean, to me, it does sound fancy, but I think what happens is I think Square Enix is pushed forward and looking at games that sell well, and I think they went action-based. Going action RPG is where the future is in this genre, for example. But then I think what they've misinterpreted is the fans that are loyal to Square Enix and loyal to Final Fantasy love the traditional RPG elements. So I think a lot of them have went, well, they've shot themselves in the foot. They've went too action for us, hence why I'm not probably going to buy that game.
Interesting.
So I think in the first 2 weeks, 3.6 million is a lot. But if a lot of people are saying this is a lot compared to other Final Fantasies in the past, then they're projecting it right.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think it's a lot, and I agree with y'all. It's just like movies, right? The first week you're gonna have a lot, and then there's usually like a 60%, 70% drop. Second week, to me, I think it's on par, right? If we think that there is 36 million PS5s outright, because it's only on PS5, it's not on PS4, and you sold 3.6 million or so, that's 10% of the PS5 user player base.
It's a great attachment, right? Isn't it, really?
Yeah. So, and then if we think of like something like a Tears of the Kingdom, right? There's 120 odd million Switches out there. 10% of that is about 12%, or 12 million. So about 10%. I think if you have a game that appeals to 10% of your core consumer, I think that's a good game. Like you're obviously,
and digital prices and digital sales went higher and higher. So 3.6 million, if half of that, say 1.8, is digital, that's 70 at full retail. They've made a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, but again, this is Square. They supposedly sold 3 million copies of Outriders, and that was considered a flop.
And I can't see them making a loss for Square, for example, because this engine design, you've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the same engine that they had, and then they had Forspoken, and they got Final Fantasy 16. So a lot of these assets are probably pulled from the same engine and stuff like that.
I
For
would
using.
think so.
So
I
I
mean,
can't see them going fully out and buying a new engine and just and having a big overhead.
I think. I mean, Forspoken. I'm actually looking forward to Forspoken. I mentioned this on Cowboy Stream. I don't know why it got so much hate. It looks like a cool game to me. So
Well, so it's actually weird, because I played Forspoken and the DLC and Final Fantasy 16. There's a lot of elements that I see in Final Fantasy 16 and Forspoken, and I thought to myself, why is Final Fantasy not getting as bashed as much as another action RPG by Square Enix? So I actually thought to myself, how come it wasn't rated very high? I mean, I thought it was very great game Forspoken, but I thought maybe these people are brand loyalty to it, like Final Fantasy, over trying something new. So I thought to myself, fickle gamers.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I also wonder how much of this is
Do you know what I like about it? And I didn't know I didn't know that I needed this, but what I like about Forspoken and what I love about Final Fantasy 16, it's more adult based. I know that's weird, and I've played loads of JRPGs, played RPGs, but it's more adult based. The characters got more adult problems. They speak more adult. They swear. They deal with battles totally different than a young protagonist. Doesn't matter, male, and that's what I like about the protagonist side of Forspoken and the protagonist side of Final Fantasy 16. You've catered it well.
I think,
and I don't know if that's because the audience has grown with the franchise and then they want a little bit more maturity in these protagonists, but it definitely is a well-designed game. Both of them are. You should definitely try Forspoken.
Yeah, no, I think I will, once y'all know, my thing is once PlayStation comes out with a better looking PlayStation, I'll be doing that as well as some others.
Console shallow.
It's not a shallow that is, I think that's a very objective observation.
Objective.
How's that not objective? That is a very solid objective observation.
You just don't like thick consoles. That's it, isn't it? It's got curves all in the right places.
It does not have curves in the right places. Let's not say that.
The flaps are well designed in certain areas. What are you on about purple?
I'm just saying, it's not about the game. It's about how the console looks.
I mean, I'm that type of gamer that I've got a console, I pick it up out the box and I go, wow. Then hide it. Don't even look at it ever again. You just perform. Don't have to look at you. Just perform.
Just
put a bag over it. That's it. If it didn't
oh my god! Oh my gosh, Holtz, we're not doing that on the. We are not.
Just put. Then that's what
championing
you should do.
This type of behavior.
You should just put a well ventilated bag over it and then don't look at it ever again. Just use it for what it can perform with, and don't look at it. That's all you have to do.
No, this sounds like something.
Keep your eyes closed while you play.
Keep your eyes closed while you
turn the lights off. We're all right. Just turn off. Don't bother.
I mean, does it make a lot of noise? Is it one of those that I can't just like?
It's not as bad as the PlayStation 4. My PlayStation 4 used to sound like a vacuum cleaner.
Oh my gosh.
I'll tell you what it does annoy me about my PlayStation 5 is that when I turn it off, you can hear the SSD. I installed another SSD and you can hear it cooling down. And then when you're looking at it going, you should be quiet, and you can just hear this little faint.
Is that what you do after you get done playing? You're just like, shut up.
Yeah, I'm like,
stop
silent.
Talking. Stop talking.
We've done what we have to do. Quiet.
Hey, Crow, Hal, Cherry,
I've
man,
been
what's
fatigued. 70 hours I put in Final Fantasy.
So you can go. So you can go a long time.
Exactly. When I have to, multiple times a day.
Multiple times. You're not a one.
70 hours.
So
and
when you sit down, you're like going for it.
I feel like I've got some trophies, and I feel like
you got your trophies on it.
And he said you lose your talent with age, and I'm as a gamer.
So Holtz, I mean, since we're talking about, obviously you spend a lot of time. You're very well versed in standing up or laying down. How does your PS5 when you're playing with it, is it standing up or laying down?
It's a vertical.
It's
not vertical. It's horizontal. It's laying down. It's not vertical.
It's laying down.
Yeah, it's floating on a. I've showed it before on this show. It's just
like that. Down. It's just like that.
Just laying still.
Doesn't take as much energy that way.
No, that's it. It's well versed. Well versed.
Well, whatever, allows the ventilation, allows the cool. I mean, obviously you can go multiple hours. So this is
But I've been sloppy. I've been sloppy.
you've
I've
been
just been
sloppy.
slou-
You've been sloppy about
I've
it.
been slouching myself in bad posture.
Slouching.
In bad posture, what I've been doing, and 70 hours is quite a lot. And what I realised, my wrists and my hips and all are killing with all this slouching, bad posture. And I don't know how gamers can do it for long.
Hips and wrists. This is an
Hips.
interesting hips and wrists.
Because I just don't think I can support myself with these long sessions enough anymore. It's
I mean, obviously you got to like take a breath. I'm surprised the PlayStation doesn't need its own a lot of times I have to hydrate that long. So that's an interesting thing. Mine is standing. So we have some people who standing up. We have Cowboys is standing up type. Obi Rose is a standing up type. That's
you
how
know
they
what they say about them standing up people.
what is,
You know,
what
they all get all that liquid all over them. The liquid metal.
the liquid metal goes
Yeah,
all
they get
over.
all that little liquid metal all over them.
Oh,
See?
maybe that's what they like about it, though.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
it.
what
You
they like.
You want all this placing to be all silvery inside, full of liquid metal.
Just explodes. The liquid metal just.
You know, their PlayStation 5 looks like you open up, you see the T1000 that had the friggin' Terminator in it. It's just there. Big puddle of liquid metal.
Oh my gosh. Well, that is I mean, hey, how is as long as you're playing, you're good with me. I
Well,
don't care how you came where
Take your own advice. As long as you're playing and not looking at it. You
Oh
don't
my
need to look at it and stroke it. You know, go and stroke your PlayStation 5. That's what you got a dog for. Just don't look at the PlayStation. Go and get a PlayStation 5.
oh my and then you can stroke away.
Yeah, you can stroke away.
You can
Anyway,
stroke anyway, but make sure you have your wrists are good, right? Because you
I think what it is, and I realized this back in the day when, I used to program and stuff like that. I used to look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame because I used to have bad posture. Back then, computer screens, I used to have a big bulging eye, humpback, wrists used to be curled up, and I typing away like that on computers.
I hear a lot of people get the hunchback position when they play as well. So
What is it? RSI, repetitive strain injury?
it's a thing. It's a thing. PSA announcement there. So make sure
Well, I've seen like loads of gamers getting tarple.
right there.
What's it called in the hands? Tarple. Oh, I can't remember. In the wrist
Corporal
and
tunnel.
hands.
Corporal tunnel.
That's it. Son. I thought it was tarple, but carpal tunnel. And they can't game anymore because all these years of abusing the consoles, them controllers, and then back in the day, you used to rotate the analog sticks and you used to bash it and everything, and these people now are all fatigued.
Oh my gosh. Well, there you heard it. You can get better though, as Holt has demonstrated. He had a hunchback. He now does not abuse it. He does it horizontal.
I mean, what I've done is I've replaced the hunchback for the gaming belly, so it's replaced the weight distribution. So instead of having it in the back, you carry it around in the stomach.
Hey, whatever. I mean, it seems like it's It seems like it's working for you. Seems like it's working for you. Obviously,
has to. I mean, how long is the average gamer in chat? How long did he game for per week or per day?
Per week. So you know what? Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll in chat. We're gonna start a poll. How long do you game? Right.
See, I can consume 2 hours I can consume 2 hours of media per night. So that's either TV show, movie, or gaming. But if it comes to a franchise that I love, like Final Fantasy, it definitely goes to 5-7 hours. I could easily just consume really fast. No family time, no friend time, not just consumption of that game.
20, and then we're going to say more than 20. How about this? So there you go. Ask community. How long do you game in a week? In a week, y'all. This is in a week. How long do you game in a week? Right now I think I'm right here. I think I'm going to do that. I don't stand my PS5, but I stand like I like it standing up. Oh, you like it standing up. So, Cowboy, you've told us a lot. You like it
You see,
standing
I'll
up.
do the stand and that does the laying. That's perfect. That's a life lesson. I'll
I-
stand. That lays.
That lays. He stands.
Perfect.
Hey, whatever. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. Y'all know that in a week, uncompetitive in a week. Hey Geek, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. If you want to, obviously it's an open forum for anybody, but no, Holz, I think you've given it like so. Obviously, we talked about Remy. What is it? Give me a second. Give me a second. He always gets excited with you, Holz. He always gets excited with you.
No.
But we've talked about a couple of different things. We don't like game. Well, we don't know we don't actually know if Final Fantasy just told you that, by the way, right? Have you seen any differences in the game? Your second playthrough?
No. I just started it. I need to think. I can't just dive back in. Another 70 hours. I was just saying as a developer, a person that was developing, I was just thinking to myself, what I was thinking last week. Do we actually need content behind New Game Plus? Because I don't think I'm going to put another. I don't think I'm going to play it again, apart from the idea of getting a trophy. But to me, I'm like, I can play other games to get trophies, but I don't really need this game again.
Right. No, I think.
I mean, it's done and dusted to me. I'd rather wait a year and a half, and get DLC content, and then that's it.
Go with it.
And that content shouldn't be locked. DLC content should not be locked behind story neither. That should be as a standalone experience where I can just load the game. It puts up a warning saying, do you want to play this content? We advise you to play story, and I can just say no and just play the content like that.
So Uncompetitive, you got that game. Holt is giving game feedback right now. Uncompetitive is taking notes. 20 hours a week. Wow. So we have some of y'all like, yeah, I am in the 5 to 10 hour range every week. Right now, sometimes I go longer, but less than 5 hours. I hear y'all on that. 10 to 20, more than 20 hours. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot.
It depends on like the level of spoiling. Like if I feel like something's going to be spoiled quick, I will finish it as faster as possible. But if it's something that I don't feel like I can play without getting spoiled, that takes me time. So racing games, fighting games, stuff like that.
I got it. Wow. So that's the results. I thought this was per day. No, it's a week, Crow. It's a week. Which one did you put? Yeah, it's more than 20 hours a day. That's
20
like
hours per day. I would love to do that.
I think that's like who's it? Like Squids or Hutch, one of those types. Do they can do those marathon.
I wouldn't be a
games,
hunchback at that time. I'll just be a circle. I'll literally just caved into myself. Which probably wouldn't be a bad thing if I could cave a little bit further, like, but
yeah, no. So I go Cowboy. I do 5 to 10 right now. 5 to 10. That's kind of where I'm at, just because of my schedule, and I've been traveling and with no Stadia. Y'all know I can't. Y'all know how I feel about Stadia. Still, it's too early. Too early.
too early.
Too early.
It's like the ex you can't get over. You're just always in your mind.
It's always in my mind. It's always in my
always leaving messages. Stadia, how could you?
But you want to know what? I'm at the point right now where I am I'm blaming Xbox for Stadia's failure. That's right.
Is it anyone's fault in the sense that
it's Phil Harrison's fault. It's Phil Harrison's fault.
Why is it Phil Harrison's fault? Because he's the top Phil. He just didn't want to share it with any other Phils.
It just seems easier to blame Phil Harrison. It's easier to blame Phil Harrison.
Damn Phil Harrison. I'm going to take your advice.
I'm going to just blame him. I heard that they have put him in charge of the Xbox console division. So to give y'all some heads up on where that is going to be going over the next few years, they've hired Phil Harrison to run Xbox console division. Are we talking about gaming, Cowboy? We are always talking about gaming. Always talking about gaming.
What did he understand? The whole thing start to finish was about gaming.
Always about gaming. Always about gaming. 5 to like I said, I gotta hydrate, y'all. I gotta hydrate. I have thoughts. Wit, you have thoughts. Wait, well, come on to the show, Wit, if you have thoughts. Wait, it's right there. Sarah Bond is replacing Phil Spencer. I actually do believe that. I believe Sarah Bond will replace Phil Spencer. I do believe
See,
that.
what I don't get is, does a change in position change the idea, the whole projection of Xbox? I feel like just one person doesn't change the whole direction. It doesn't matter who do you have to replace or be a figurehead. To me, it doesn't bother me. It's like, okay, as long as the developers are still developing for the platform, that's all I care about. I don't care about other people's opinions, what they're playing in the architecture of Xbox. I don't mind who's at the top. Don't mind who's at the bottom. Boom.
I think it just shows, like, right? I think the reason I think Sarah Bond is because I've seen, Sarah Bond came from T-Mobile, if I'm not mistaken. If they're trying to do mobile, she has those types of partnerships. But also, I just think she's a phenomenal person. I mean, if y'all have not seen Sarah Bond's credentials, Harvard undergrad, Harvard Business School, she's amazing.
Never heard of her. No, I haven't. This is the first time I've heard of it.
She's always there on the Xbox Showcase the last few years. Is against the deal. Cowboy. No, I'm not against the deal. I told you we just need a renegotiation. The deal could just so y'all know I did a video recently about this. I just have said I think that if we are going to they need to renegotiate it. I'm not for this, like, let's try to cram it in. And so that's all.
I think I've gone past the point of caring now. I think when it was first started, it was new. It was like, oh, was it competitive? Was it anti-consumer? Was it better for the consumer? It was all this ideas. And now because it's took so long, I'm like, I don't really care. I've just been playing my games and moving forward with what's already been delivered.
I don't play Activision games. I want to play Blizzard. Browster. I know we are going to play Blizzard if David Wilson is still Crow Resin.
Activision I was like Crash Bandicoot, Guitar Hero. I was asking for games that that wasn't the big hitters like Call of Duty.
No, the only thing I think about is like I said, I actually do think that there is something to be said about something like a Stadia coming back or not coming back, but something similar that I think that if you lock up all the content,
I know it's like YouTube games, stuff like that, but do you think that's a bad messaging to start off, or the community to start off with, or the same people that used the same rhetoric that killed Stadia by saying Stadia is coming back? I think that's like the worst thing to ever say, because then people think of Stadia and go, okay, Google's going to kill it just like they done with Stadia.
No, I would say not Stadia. Something like Stadia. That's what I would say. Like if there was another platform that was like Stadia, that ran
I think the whole point is I think we should stay away from the word like Stadia-esque or cloud-based. I think people should start using the word like stream-based content, stream-based gaming.
So regardless, so whatever you call it, whatever semantic, whatever different word you want to use to call it,
because words are powerful. I think if people keep on bringing Stadia or cloud into the forefront, it's still not going to change what happened in the past. The tech was there, it did perform, but the optics was wrong.
Yeah, no, I think like regardless of what it is, right? Like I don't care if we call it streaming tech, just gaming or whatnot. I think that if you do live in a world where there is only a few people who own all the content, the barrier to entry is so high, it could dissuade a new entrant or unpersuade, non-swayed, something's persuasion that's not happening. That is what I have a fear of. I don't care what it's called, but that's what I'm thinking about. It's kind of like TV shows.
I think tying it to a service. I mean, it's even like the whole point is when cloud came out, he was like, is it the Netflix of streaming in gaming? Is it Netflix? And I think no one could have delivered up to that idea because people had the idea of having this library like Netflix. So I think the only way it's going to be popular for Google is to link it directly into YouTube and just say streamable content. Look, here's movies.
And who knows? Maybe we'll see that. We've seen YouTube playables happen. And I think you can join from your phone if you want to try. You don't have to put your camera on. If you want to try, just click in and we can test it out. But Yeah, no, I agree, Holt. I'm just saying I'm not against. Just so you'll know, I'm not against the deal. I actually don't. The deal, I don't know. I've always said I think the deal falls through because of a lack of a renegotiation. That's why I've always said lack of a
I mean,
renegotiation.
how
is
much
what-
money can you throw at something before it actually sounds, before it goes through? You know what I mean?
What's that?
How much money can you throw at something before you get it through it? I think it's not a lack of money. I think it's just the competition is the one.
Y'all know that I actually think if Microsoft and Activision really want to get this deal through, I think they will. But if you watch the very first video I did, I don't think Activision really wants this deal to go through. That's my
Because
theory.
you've seen like they've moved on, haven't they, from the allegations of
They've moved from the allegations. They have some of the best gaming. Look, two of the biggest launches in the last 12 months, Call of Duty and Diablo, two of the largest launches in gaming. Mobile, you had Diablo Immortals.
Do you know what? I feel like I actually want
I don't
Call
know.
of Duty to start going to a backseat because I think it's not innovative enough in today's gaming space, and I feel like it's just keep on rehashing every annual 2 years a game, and it's just the title that's selling these games. I don't think it's innovative enough in the shooter or the genre anymore to actually, keep up with what gamers are consuming.
No,
Fortnite to this to this.
So I actually saw something recently that said arena shooters. Now, if we I don't know if we have any arena shooter type of people in chat, but I've heard arena shooters are kind of on their way out. They've hit their apex. So I don't know. Maybe
Well, they must be doing something. They shouldn't be listening to me. They're doing something right at the moment, aren't they? Really? So
yeah, I don't know. Well, Holtz, we're going to see if Wit can come on right now, but thank you for coming by. I'll let you know if we have. Y'all know if we'll have some time. We'll still be going for a while, but Wit is it.
well, before I go, what have I and an orca got in common?
What do you and an orca have in common?
We have long tails to tell.
Oh my gosh.
Long tails.
Oh my.
Sad. Didn't who wrecked the night already?
I love it.
Wick needs to pick it up. Wick needs to pick it up now.
All right.
Cheers,
All right.
Purple, for inviting me. Well,
Thank you coming by. All right, let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. Wit, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Wit, we can hear you, Wit. What's going on?
Hi, chat. I never knew if I was ever going to actually make an appearance, but I have thoughts here.
You have thought. Wit, what are your thoughts? Wit, you always, if y'all do not know, Wit's always usually in chat. Thank you for coming by. Wit, what are your thoughts? What have I said that have upset you, Wit? What? Because I've been.
No. It's not what you've said. I feel like people in the gaming industry tend to focus on what's important to hardcore gamers and not what's important to the tech companies that own these gaming companies. And I think that tells you a different story, especially if you look at what those tech companies are dealing with from governments across the world, and not just now, but over the past 10, 15 years.
Okay, Wit, I feel like there's okay, Wit, you got to put some color to this conversation. What are we talking about?
I mean, basically, I'm there's a few things going on in the world of. Should I keep the world vague?
No. What's going on, Wit? You gotta dumb it down for us. We know.
I'll dumb it down. I'll talk about the tech industry in general.
Okay.
The tech industry has been facing a lot of stuff around competition. And the truth is the FTC, I don't really think the FTC cares about Activision and Call of Duty or these industries as a thing. I think they care about it as an example, as a precedent, as a tool.
Okay, I like where we're going with this. So no, I totally hear it. I've said, I think I have the video, right? Where, and if I hear you correctly, that, and shout out to Wit, way to go. I hear you on that one, Obi Rose. what I hear you saying is that the regulators aren't concerned about gamers.
Yes.
The regulators are concerned about Microsoft
Yes.
and Microsoft's peers.
Yes.
And if we look at it from that lens,
And they're very concerned about something that's being called an emergent industry. I guess it kind of is, or part of it is a very big emergent industry that you can't go anywhere without hearing about it this year.
So y'all, if y'all can't tell what sounds like an insider, what sounds like an insider, y'all, I don't know. So are you talking about AI?
Good, yeah.
Okay.
Generative AI specifically.
Generative AI. So let's think about this. So let's take Activision Blizzard out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take Activision Blizzard out of it. Let's keep Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When we think about competition, when we think about purchasing, would we say that Microsoft purchasing OpenAI, would that classify as something?
Yeah, that would classify as something. I mean, think about it. Microsoft has been in the tech industry for how many years? The tech industry compared to some other industries is relatively young, but if you think about like when these developments have been happening, when these leaders came, it's like now it's back in the day, but like compared to say finance or manufacturing, the tech industry is kind of young. But some of the people who started the industry are maturing. And it's just a little bit interesting that Microsoft.
She's not a pony, y'all. She's not a pony. We know
I'm
we
not
got
a
Franklin.
pony.
We know we got Franklin in the chat. He's
You know what? I'm team no one because growing up I was too broke to afford a console. So
this is the story of many of us, Wit. This is the story of many of us. But so all right, so we have I totally hear what you're saying, right? You have and I could use Google, I could use any right Facebook. You have this idea, these big tech behemoths
Mm-hmm.
that are just gobbling up. They are so big that they are gobbling up large companies right now.
Yeah.
Right. And if they
Which
continue, makes them bigger, which then makes their competition gobble up something even bigger. And then eventually what you end up having is
Audrey, how much did Microsoft spend to buy Activision Blizzard King? It was pocket change, right? Something that any company could afford.
No. Let me see. I don't know.
I'm just saying that it's making a lot of governments unhappy. That kind
She's on a roll. She's on a roll.
There's a lot of unhappiness in the politics world right now, in the politics and tech world.
I hear you.
That's causing a lot of change. And then there's also been a lot of upheaval. Like what's going on with Twitter and Threads is really like how many people signed up in just a day? Like what's happening?
No, I hear you. I think Threads, but here's the thing, Wit. Like I have no issue with Threads. Threads is
I'm kind of surprised that you, of all people, don't have issue with Threads.
I don't like Facebook.
But how
Y'all
can
know
you
I don't like Facebook.
not like Facebook, but then be like, Threads is cool though?
Because they built Threads.
I mean, I'm a hypocrite. I have an Oculus Quest 2. I don't think I'll get the 3. I was like, I'm moving on in the VR world.
Because because Facebook built Threads. I'm okay if you build it. Like if Facebook went and bought Threads, I would not be a fan of Facebook. But the fact is, Facebook said, you know what?
We'll make it internally. We'll make it on our own. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm fine with that.
That's different. That is different than like you going out and spending like $100 billion to buy like a big ass company to make it for you. I mean, one other question I have for gamers, I have 2 other questions. Like, why do you trust Microsoft? Like, how many times has Microsoft done you dirty recently? Like, I don't know. I'm just like, my thing is just be very, like, has Microsoft buying these other companies made those games better? Banjo-Kazooie, Halo. I mean, at the beginning when Xbox was new and like they were trying to get people to get on the Xbox train, but these days I don't really feel like they're innovating much. If anything, things feel stagnant.
I don't know. I mean, we have Severin. Welcome to the chat, Severin. Watch out, orcas at Microsoft wants to be new big fish. Well, you know, the orcas are, y'all know where the orcas are right now. They are spreading, they are training each other how to break off boats.
All I'm
and
saying is
stuff.
like, I don't know whether the deal will happen or not. I have no idea. All I know is there's a lot of people who really, really, really don't want this deal to happen.
No, but I mean, I don't necessarily. Obviously, we're coming down to the stretch.
Yeah.
I said what I wanted to say.
I mean, do
Severin
you
knows
think
what-
that Microsoft think this deal is going through? And what about Activision? What do you think they're thinking right now? Because they have some signals.
Y'all
They're
know
getting
how-
headwinds.
I've already said that I do not think Activision wants this deal to go through. Like, I've said this from the very beginning.
Right.
I said I think
You're the
Act-
only one saying it.
I because I'm wrong, right? But I think Activision, like at the end of the day, everybody keeps talking about well, Bobby Kotick gets like some massive bonus. I keep asking people, what is this bonus that he's getting? No one can tell me this. No one's pointed this out. I'm not saying he's not. I just can't find that. But I'm like, he's already gotten what he wants, right? Bobby Kotick already has what he wants. They're already doing amazing. They're not from a work standpoint, but they're already doing amazing from financial. They were one of the most successful gaming companies.
financially, yeah.
One of the most successful gaming companies over the last, since the deal actually was announced, has been one of the most successful gaming companies.
Yeah, I'll say that the government or federal governments look at different principles to kind of put together an idea of like what is fair competition and why does it matter. And I think that we are at an inflection point that's been building for a long time. I think because people are trying to redefine competition in a context where
No, I think I've said this when I talked about the regulators, right? And that is that the idea of competition, what that is, and the idea that what this deal represents outside of gaming. Like I think it's in the scope of gaming, but outside of gaming, what's essentially happening is you have a behemoth company. Despite everybody who tries to make this to be Xbox versus Sony, it's really Microsoft. I don't think people quite put that together. Microsoft, who just today was $3 trillion valuation. $3 trillion valuation. I think Morgan Stanley put that price tag on them. Going in and being able to buy essentially an entire, not an industry, but if you can't stop the largest independent studio, and we use indie in that
Right.
term lightly, then you can't stop them. They can do it. You have nothing to stand on.
And then like that, then you have to ask yourself, who has more at stake here right now, Microsoft or the FTC?
Oh, I think that Whit, you're hitting on something that I meant to make a video on. And that is that I don't think people quite understand. Regardless of what the judge says, the judge could tell the FTC, go kick rocks. The FTC is going to double down. I don't think they realize like the FTC has way more at stake right now. Regulators around the world have way more at stake than Microsoft Activision. And this has been my overall thing. If Microsoft Activision want to actually merge, which I've already said I don't think Activision does, but I don't think the senior shareholders and board of Activision do. I think the workers definitely do.
That's an interesting
That's yes,
conversation.
yeah.
Labor and tech.
Yes, yeah. We're not
Ooh.
gonna get into that.
Yeah.
But we're going to but so if they want to, they will renegotiate the deal, right? But I don't think they want to. But I think if they did, I think they could drag it out, and I think they will win ultimately. But
Right.
again, I think Activision has been.
I mean, what do you think would
declining.
happen though? Like if Microsoft had to go back to Activision and be like, okay, you know, this deadline didn't work out. Let's go back to the drawing board. After you had like these big financial successes and like the I mean, during this hearing, all this stuff came out about how powerful Call of Duty is and King. What's the price of Activision now?
Yeah, Activision, right? What? How much does it cost? No, Activision right now is trading around $83. I think it's $82.90 if I'm not mistaken. Which puts it at a valuation of close to, I think, I don't know, let's call it like 60 bill. But that puts them at that valuation, or maybe a little.
But do you
lower.
think that they would take the same price from Microsoft?
No, they're not. No, they wouldn't. And I do want to get to Severin's comment here. Disney Fox, if you actually look at that, Disney Fox is not the same as Disney News Corp, right? And so when we talk about Fox and the assets of Fox, those are those are certain assets, right? That's not FS. That's not Fox Sports Network. That was FX, right? So it's not the same as Disney FX. And again, I think if that deal were to go through today, I think it would be scrutinized as well. When we talk about the Meta within, you said Meta Facebook. Well, I think you knew Meta within, Severin. That was a $400 million deal, right? So that is like that is less than 1/150th of the size of this current one. And I think that the theory of harm they were using that time was a little different. And but Meta within, they were able to renegotiate the deal, right? Like that, like again, they were able to renegotiate. I think this deal, could the FTC block it? I'm not too sure. But again, I don't think this deal was ever meant to pass. I continue to say I think Bobby Kotick has played Microsoft in its entire fan base. I continue to say I don't know why people don't see it that way.
I think this will be interesting to watch play out and see like the aftermath of. It could potentially be very like a big moment in the tech industry.
Yeah, and Severin's getting into what is fair competition for what's not fair. I think you're getting with the words. I don't think, again, it's necessarily about Sony, right? I don't think this is about gamers. This is about the tech industry. And this is about the consolidation within the tech industry. And this is, if you cannot stop one of these market players, then you're not going to be able to stop the other market players. And pretty soon you end up in a world, right, where you have a few companies that own basically everything. I think the better argument would have been, why couldn't the regulators stop Amazon and Whole Foods, right? That's a legit argument.
Yeah, that's a good question.
You know, like you start having that. And so that to me is like where you start to have what is fair. Now we start to see a world where innovation and potentially new entrants, they cannot come in because the barriers of entry are too high. I think that is what Whit is talking about.
Is necessarily that like the FTC or like other regulators are like, we want things to be like, they're trying to think about like what happens when one company has too much power. How does that affect people? I think in the past they used to just focus on like, oh, you know, if a company got too powerful, that's bad because it raises prices for consumers. But the tech industry kind of like messed that up because a lot of tech products are free. And free because of, you know, taking other things from you that have like caused a lot of interesting situations now. Like think about how a lot of like, you can't go anywhere on the internet without ads or you have to pay. And then like, whatchamacallit? like a lot of things are locked behind paywalls. A lot of things are owned by the same few companies, same few decision makers. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, you just reach a point where
Yeah. I hear, and I think what Severin's saying is one side doing this, one side doing that. I think what we would say is like one side is an organic, it's more organic than the other, right? And I think it's that inorganic. There's no question that when you take a piece off of the chessboard and add it to someone's arsenal, that's something. But at the same time, you know, imagine how many exclusives if Microsoft actually wanted to that they could actually have with the pockets they have. Are you right? Is it all anti-competitive? Yes, but I think what regulators are trying to do is the inertia, because capitalism unbound will ultimately lead to its own destruction. And I think that's how you have to look at regulators, is that, yeah, can they stop everything? No, but they're designed to slow that down. They're
and I
the
think
ones
it's up to debate what should be stopped. And I think that's what people are debating now. Like, what should be stopped and what shouldn't be stopped? Like, should we let this big ass company walk in, drop more money than anybody else can drop to get a competitive advantage? That's different than if like they had created something themselves, like your example of Meta and Threads.
Yeah. And so to Severin's point, like, so what you have to look at is the marketplace is more than just the gamers, right? Essentially what you have, because Severin's commenting with right now, the way I look at it is like, those are still customers, right? That is still a business relationship. There is still competition for an independent studio's work. But when you take that independent studio off of the board, that's a different idea of competition. And I think that's what it is. People act as if PlayStation didn't buy Naughty Dog or Sonic. Miss me with that nonsense. You can create those studios. Yes, but when did they buy Naughty Dog? There's a difference between buying a studio and an outright publisher. That's one big difference, right?
Ooh, yes.
And I think that this is a false equivalency, right? There's a difference between when Microsoft went and bought Rare, right? And when they went and bought Bethesda, right? There are magnitudes of differences there. And I think by making these false equivalencies, like it's the same action. No, I don't think that helps the conversation. Like
the other thing that people could consider is that like Microsoft can do things like be it like a game studio or some other kind of non-gaming tech company, just so that other competitors can't buy it, or that like they can shut that product down so that like their products can compete and get more users, like things like that. It's like, I don't know, I feel like it's one thing when it's like all the competitors have like, you know, are balanced, like the competitors in a fighting game, they're balanced. Right now the tech industry is not balanced. You have like these super powerful companies, and then you have some startups that have cool ideas that could become powerful. Like maybe they could be the next Microsoft or Google or Facebook, or what seems like is going to happen is they'll just be purchased by Microsoft, Facebook, or Google.
Yeah, no, and I think what Severin's saying is, what's the difference between one studio at a time versus it all up front? And you didn't say it that way, Severin. And I think the difference is exactly that. If you do it all up front, you have now increased the barriers to entry so far at the front end. And again, it's the inertia. You are not going to stop capitalism within a capitalistic society. But what you can do is capitalism unbound will lead to monopolies, right? And what you're trying to do is slow that down enough to allow other entrants to come into the market. That is essentially the role of regulators when it comes to antitrust, right? And so I think there is a huge difference between one at a time versus an entire, not just any publisher, by the way, right? The largest publisher in North America and one of the largest in the world. I just don't think that's the same whatsoever.
I mean, do we have like equivalents of this in other industries where like the companies of this scale were purchased for this price?
No, this is the largest tech industry. This is the largest buy in the tech industry in the media industry. Like this is not the largest purchase ever. I do it is top 10, but
Mm-hmm.
it's dwarfed by AOL Time Warner, right? That I think
Mm-hmm.
it takes the cake at. I think that was at 200 billion. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's also several shipping ones that have reached that level. But it is relatively large. And when you're talking about in media, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a difference between IP as well. This one is also the studios and the developers, which is also a very finite skill set.
Right.
That doesn't get talked about as much. So we'll see. I don't see it the same, Severn, but you're free to.
I also do think that we lose something when like, IPs are trying to satisfy a big company, and then like, when they don't have that, incentive, and then they could just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we're losing some art. That's, I think, what bothers me as a gamer, the art that we're losing when there's too much consolidation and stagnation and all
Well,
that.
like again, like I said, I think to me one of the most key points to the trial, no one really talked about, but it was when the judge said, essentially like we don't benefit when we buy each other's content. We benefit when we create our own or incentivize to create their own. And so I think that is a very telling statement. But we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see. And Sarah and I, like I said, I totally respect your opinion on.
Wait, so they said that they don't benefit when they buy each other's content?
Yeah. Correct. The judge said that. The judge did say that. And Severn's like, it's not that it's actually very different, right? Like you being able to buy everything up front versus over time is a difference, right? Because you're allowing the idea of competition to push back. But if you were able to say like, okay, let's buy everything at once, for one, you're not allowing anybody else to purchase them, which would actually allow for more competition. But two, you also are looking at the innovation side of things in market entrance. And once again, take a step away from gaming because I think gaming's a little bit too charged of a topic. But if we look at other forms of tech entry, tech consolidation, it's probably easier to see, in my opinion.
Right. I think it would just be such a loss to have like a game industry where it's like, there's 3 big games that has like 70% of players, and then there's like indies keeping the new ideas and innovation alive. But like what if it was a little bit more balanced is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I think like you said, Wit, I'm less concerned whether or not we see Call of Duty on Game Pass or not, and more interested when it comes to this particular case, more interested in the logic going forward and what that says about the tech industry.
Yeah, I think that's actually the important piece to look at.
I say give it all to Elon. Let him make Activision exclusive to Mars. It could be a thing. Elon Musk, I made that comment earlier this week on Twitter. Who's trying to kill their product faster? Xbox with console, Elon Musk with Twitter.
What's Elon's plan here? I mean, let's not get into that. I'll leave that conversation.
I don't know. I have no idea what Elon Musk's plan is. Y'all know my feelings on Elon Musk. But I don't know. I don't know what his plans are. I try not to. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens on that.
Thanks for having me on.
No worries, Wit. Thanks for joining the. Look at that, Wit, y'all.
I hope I spiced things up.
I think you did, Wit. You always do.
Oh, also, hi, Mama Hayes, and hi, Mama Wit.
I'm a Wit, Mama Hayes. Thanks for joining, Wit. You're always welcome in chat, y'all. This is Wit coming in first time. We also had Uncompetitive was the first time he came on as well. So we've had a couple of first time callers into the monthly Purple's Shades of Purple with the community. So thanks, Wit. Thank you so much. But he's trying to prevent Ready Player One. He's trying to prevent it, or is he trying to do it, Obi? Can't wait to have blue tick next to my user on Game Pass. I don't know, y'all. Yeah, y'all. It's interesting, but yeah, I think the way I approached why I take the stance that I take, that the deal needs to be renegotiated if it has any chances, exactly what Wit was saying, which is the regulators have way more at stake in this than people realize. It's not necessarily about gamers, and I just don't think people realize that all the things that they're going to use at their disposal to fight this, and in the way they're looking at the law. And if you're a legal person, it's actually pretty exciting, because law can be very boring. And so when you see something new and novel, something just to analyze something a different way, it's actually exciting. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Who will win in a fight, Mark or Elon? I gotta go with Mark Zuckerberg. I think he's a dork, but I feel like Mark Zuckerberg is the type that would train up and do all the membership and the fitness stuff. Like, he just seems like that type. And I feel like Elon is just I don't know. I'm not a fan. Nobody, Severin, you don't care about the regulators. Severin, we're going to agree to disagree on this. We are going to agree to disagree. I don't understand why people are so up in arms in defending large corporations and companies that actually really do not care about you. The regulators are a lot closer to you and I. And Severin, you're from the military, another government agency. And so I don't quite get this. But I digress. I don't love the government. I just, like I said, I think there's a place for it, and I don't think private companies are the ones that should be governing. That's all. But again, it's the same thing. There's this thing, like, right? If I don't say I love Xbox and support full loyalty, I'm a pony. If I show any support to the government, then I love regulators, right? I don't get it. I think, can we not call a spade a spade? Can we not have support of a certain system? I don't know. But that's how, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But again, that's why we love the chat. We love it being spicy here. I don't support it. Etsy's fine for us, Severin. Show some. Rune's trying to Rune and Severin. That is a classic battle. They get it, great. If they don't, great. Yeah, like I said, I'm more curious about the logic. Like I said, I'm more curious about the logic, and I think I do think there needs to be some pushback on big tech, particularly. I think they are a very arrogant group of people. Oh my gosh, Severin, we're not calling anybody a fool, Severin. Severin, no one is a fool here. We're all friendly. We're all part of the community. No fools here. You know, no hate being thrown. Sharing ideas and concepts. We love it. But with that, y'all, I'm going to give it about another 2 to 3 minutes. If anybody wants to come on last, you definitely, you can come on if you want. But if not, I mean, we've been going for a solid 2 hours here. I think Cloud and Console, I think Rudigs is actually streaming here. So if someone has Rudig's channel, please put it in, because I know Rudigs, we want to send people over there as soon as possible. Or Carberry is my best interest at heart. That's the truth. Well, no one is going to tell you what to believe, Severin. That's the thing about this one. I surely won't. Let me say that. Some people may. I just know, being as someone who's been in both government and in corporations, I think there's a balancing act, and I think companies have been getting away with a lot of stuff for a long time. Oh, whoa! Another first-time person coming in hot. None other than my native Houston, or coming from Houston, Texas. Geek the Sneak, how are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Geek. What is going on?
All is well. How are you?
Doing well, Geek. I know you've been busy recently. What's been on your mind lately? What you've been gaming? What you've been doing?
Man, I'm all over the place as far as gaming, but yeah, I've been like really busy with work. But I've been trying to put some time in on Diablo 4 and Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and I've been playing a few other games. If you know me, I play a lot of games, so I'm not like the biggest completionist, but I probably complete like maybe 5 or 6 games a year, but I probably play like 30.
No, I hear you.
So
So have you been playing with like Crow in them?
no, I've been playing with some other guys I know from
Okay.
PlayStation.
Okay. I know we used to game on Stadia Geek, and then we broke away.
I know I told you to get on Diablo 4, you and Lo-Fi.
I need to get. I need to. I knew Rouster also wants me on Diablo. I need to get. I know. I'm just trying to beat Tears of the Kingdom first. I'm a little behind.
You probably have way more hours in on that game than I do.
No, I'm only at like 80, but I'm also just exploring. I'm not really like I probably could have. This is for you, Holtz. I drink a think of water. I think Tears of the Kingdom. I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, Pikmin coming out in the next 2 weeks, so really looking forward to that. But I do want to hop into Diablo. I know the first season's going to be going, and so I do want to hop into that. And then obviously, like I said, I'm looking forward to Payday 3 come September 20-something. So I'm looking forward to that one too, Geek.
Okay, so I've never played any of the Payday games, and I own them. So I'm kind of curious about that franchise. I might actually get 3 myself.
No, I mean it's Deep Silver. I hear you, buddy. He wants to come on so bad. I'm really excited about it. It looks like it's that co-op type of game, right? So I think we played Outriders together a few times.
Yeah, we played Outriders. For sure.
And so I like that. I like that co-op where you can like really play with the team and in Destiny. I think y'all know I like Gambit. I forget what's it called. Is it called Gambit? Yeah, Gambit. I like that team atmosphere. So Payday just seems like up my alley, where it's some strategy and some heart, like you're co-oping. So I'm looking forward to it.
Tell you what, if you're gonna get it, I'll get it so we can run it together. How about that?
Hey, Geek, I'm down. I'm down, Geek. I'm down for that in Diablo. So I gotta do Diablo 2. I know, or Diablo 4, but you get what I'm saying. Diablo also. Rouster, I owe Rouster that one. Rouster's we beat Orcs Must Die, but I gotta beat some games in the next few months. I know that much. So Geek, I'm down. If you're gonna get it, I'll get it. And it's gonna be cross play.
Oh, awesome. You're gonna be playing on PC though, right?
Probably that one, probably Xbox.
Xbox, okay.
Yeah,
well, I mean, if it's cross-platform, it doesn't really matter.
Yes, I've been playing. I mean, the PC stuff, I usually only use the GFN. I use GFN, so I'll be playing Kena tomorrow for a charity stream, and that'll be with GFN, and but I have this gaming PC. I don't use it, Geek. I only use it to stream.
Did you add that game I sent you? Did you check it out?
I did. I may be playing it. Okay.
I figured it'd be right up your alley. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna send this to Perp.
No, I appreciate it, Geek. I appreciate it. No, thank you. Thank you. I definitely appreciate it.
I like watching your little horror streams.
We're playing what's it called? Bindi in the Ink Machine right now. So that's my horror game for Sunday.
So I actually have that game, and I was curious about that one too. I was like, man, maybe I should just.
You got every game. You got like almost all the games.
I don't own everything, but I do get a lot of games. So I just, like I said, I have so many games, so I just like try a lot of different stuff. But then it's like I have too many, so I can't try everything. I work so much, and it's like when I got a little bit of time to game, I try to mostly stick to what I'm, interested in the most, I guess. But everything else, I just kind of put on the back burner and say, "Oh, I'll get to it eventually." Now I'm like at maybe 520 something games on Steam, and I haven't even touched like 10% of them.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. And I think. See, Holtz, this is the thing that in Geek, the issue I have is like, I am so used to Stadia. You buy the game, you get multiplayer. So yes, Holtz, I will have to pay for Payday 3 and then do what, Xbox Gold or something like that, or Game Pass, like, yeah, to just play multiplayer. But I'm so upset about that. I'm upset. Maybe I should get it on PC, huh? You're thinking that maybe I should get it on PC because I do not like paying for multiplayer. I just don't.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna play that Starfield on Game Pass on PC. I was like,
Are you looking forward to Starfield, Geek?
honestly, I'm not one of those people that's like geek for it, but they've talked so much about it in the past 2-3 years. I'm like, I have to play it, you know, and for my own opinion on it. But I definitely want to play it, but it's not one of those like game of the years for me. Like, oh, I got to get this. You know, I have Game Pass, so technically I have it, so I'm gonna play it. See what the big fuss is.
I don't know. I think in Holtz, I don't think so. I don't think Deep Silver does it. It ruins their price structure. I don't think it's going to be on Game Pass, but it will be on Xbox. No, I think Starfield. It's just not my type of game. Like I know the type of games I like. And even if it's everything everybody says it is, which I hope, because I know a lot of people are looking forward to, like Ray and SPG, all those guys are really looking forward to it. It's just not my type of game. You know,
I'm not gonna lie, that Final Fantasy 16 had me wanting to pick up the PS5, but I was like, nah, be cool, ice cold. I'm gonna go ahead and chill on it.
Final Fantasy 16. Well, you know, we talked
It
about
looks
earlier.
good, and I'm like, I don't want to wait so long for PC. You know, I'm like, it might be a year or two from now.
Well, I mean, Cowboy's saying, what do you think about this? Forspoken is better than Final Fantasy 16. What do you think about that statement, Geek?
You know what? I didn't play Forspoken, so I don't know. It didn't get a lot of good reviews, so it wasn't one of those day ones for me anyway. I was like, I'm gonna just kind of wait a couple months until it drops to like $20 and then get it. I think it's at like $30 right now, so I might go ahead and scoop it up next week or shit. I might do it this weekend.
See, I gotta get. I'm trying to, like, when people say, "Oh, there's no games coming out," like I get super excited because that means I get a chance to clear my backlog. Like, so I can only do one of the epics at a time, and so right now it's Tears of the Kingdom, and probably next will be Diablo, and then eventually, like, I still have to play like Cyberpunk. I still need to play so many games.
I kind of fell off the wagon on that one, Cyberpunk, because I started off doing like story missions, and then I started getting into like all the side missions. And I'm not the greatest open world fan because I get sidetracked to the point where I just like, you know what, I'm done. That's kind of what happened with me on Cyberpunk. I just kept doing side mission after side mission until I got tired of playing the game.
No, I think for me it's we'll see. You know, like there's so many games. There's so many games. That's how I feel. Like, I don't know. I was watching who was it? It was the first time I ever watched him, Reforged Gaming today. And he was talking about the difference between people who say there's so many games and the difference between people who say there's not enough games. So, but I'm one of the types who is like, there's too many games. There's too many games.
There's way too many games to play. And I don't know, man. I know for me, when quarantine happened and it was a bunch of layoffs, and I happened to be one of the people. I think I got laid off on like the third cut, and I was sitting at the house every day, and I was like, man, I really have nothing to do. So I just started playing a bunch of random games on Game Pass, and that's how I came across Coffee Talk. And I know I've kind of like told a few people in the community about Coffee Talk, but I guess that would be like my cozy game. Because there's like a lot of lo-fi music in that game, and it's like very relaxing. So, you know,
so that's your thing, Coffee Talk. No, I think
helps me chill out, you know, and just enjoy making coffee for customers.
Oh my gosh, I think for me, my cozy ones, I like puzzles, you know. So, but I always go back to my normal Lamote, or I don't know, like once I like a game. A new game
like a puzzle game, dog. I watched you stream that.
Yeah, I love Lamote. I love Lamote. I loved. I still play Little Nightmares every once in a while, just because I like to look at the puzzles. There's a new game, Tin Hearts, that came out from what is the indie studio? I forget the ones who did the Falconeer. But yeah, there's some games I've been playing, but yeah. So what game are you looking forward to right now, Geek? Like what? So you told us what you're playing. What game are you looking forward to in the next 6
What
months?
am I looking forward to this year? I don't. You know what? That's a good question. I don't really have an answer for you because there's just so many games coming. You know, it's like I just take it as they come. I don't know.
Yeah.
I play a lot, so it's like whenever I see something that piques my interest, I go ahead and pick it up. You know.
Yeah, no, I hear it. Like I said, I'm looking forward to obviously Pikmin in July. Diablo's obviously on the back. I'm getting to Diablo, but Payday 3. I'm also looking forward to Prince of Persia.
Oh, you are correct. Prince of
Right?
Persia for
Prince
sure.
of
Yeah.
Persia. Like a lot of people were like, no, that one looks horrible. Like it showed and everybody got like said it was like a lot of hate. I was like, yo, that game looks. I'm looking forward to Prince of Persia. This is why I
I
don't
was
like
such a
listen to
big
most
Prince of
gamers.
Persia fan. When I saw that, I was like, "Thank you!" Like, I'm so glad they're bringing that series back. It needed to be brought back. They need to bring back other series like Castlevania as well. Stop BSing. These
Yeah,
companies, they need to bring back these old IPs. You know.
yeah. No, I'm looking for it. And in Rune, you mentioned Assassin's Creed Mirage. I like the old Assassin. I do not like. I was talking to Megatron X about this, and I cannot get into like those Assassin's Creeds like a Valhalla. It's too big. The game is
Yeah, I
too.
was playing that on Stadia and I was actually enjoying it. But I agree, like that's another one of those big open world games. You
It's
just kind of get
too
lost
much.
in it.
It's too much for me. Like so, I like the shorter Assassin's Creeds, like that 12 to 18 hours, like where it's enough of a grind, but you can, if you really focused on it, like in a weekend, in a week, you can get through it. So
I
yeah.
will say this: there are 2 titles that's coming. I don't know if it's going to come as one package, but they're doing a remaster of Byton Kaidos
Really?
on the Switch. So I would say that's 2 games that I'm looking forward to playing for sure.
Yeah. No. Well, so what do you hear? What do you think about the Switch 2 rumors?
Man, I just want to see it. You know, let's just make it happen. Like,
Wait. So
give us
here's
something.
so Geek, you have a lot of systems. You play a lot. You don't have any preferences. If Switch 2 has the power of a PS4,
Now,
you think it's a W or not?
I was disappointed, and the only reason why I was disappointed is because I was thinking it was going to be more of the line around like a PS4 Pro or Xbox One X, you know, as far as power goes. So I knew it wasn't going to be, of course, like PS5 or Xbox Series X, but when they just said like the base PS4, I was like, come on, Nintendo.
So
I know
this
it's
was
gonna have
Bobby.
DLSS with NVIDIA and everything, but you know.
So this is Bobby Kotick talking, right? He just says it on
Mhm.
trial. He says it's closer to, but maybe he was just saying in generalities. Maybe it will be a PS4 Pro.
Yeah, I don't think he actually has the inside scoop right now. Anyway,
Nah, that dude, that dude's testimony was to ensure the deal does not go through.
he tried to get that payday, you know.
Yeah, his testimony was to ensure he remains CEO. That dude, I'm telling you, I've told y'all, I don't think Bobby Kotick wants this deal to go through, and he's got to do his damnedest to make sure.
You know, I'm kind of curious whether it's going to go through myself. I mean, honestly, I was kind of gun ho for it. I'm one of those people that I know me and a lot of my close friends and family, when we would discuss gaming a couple of years back, I was like, you know, Xbox is never going to catch up unless they just start buying these studios and these publishers. So when the whole Bethesda thing happened, I was like, okay, Xbox is finally doing the smart thing and just buy them out. You know what I'm saying? Because we know what PlayStation been doing, and they've been doing that since the Sega and Nintendo days. You know, so it's one of those things where at this point, it's like Xbox is always going to be on the back of the bus unless they start buying these other publishers and studios, and then they'll be able to compete. I think honestly, they could compete with what they have, the IPs that they already have, but I just don't think they're focused. I feel like they're running in too many directions when they're working on these titles because I've always been a big fan of like the Gears of War series. Just like I was a big fan of the God of War series on the PlayStation side. Like I always bought an Xbox because I had to play Halo, I had to play Gears, and I always bought a PlayStation because I had to play God of War and and like the Uncharted series and stuff like that. So I always felt like they both had good titles, as well as Nintendo. Like we all know Nintendo has those IPs that's like, if anything, it's gonna hit you with nostalgia. So you gotta play it because I've been playing Mario since I was like 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, on NES. So it's like I gotta get the new Mario. I gotta get the new Mario Kart, so it is what it is. But I think they just need to focus more.
No, I think you're right. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Gaming's an interesting landscape, and
Either that or buy them out.
oh no, I'm not a fan of buying them. I'm not a fan. I think Mike. I honestly think Xbox's biggest issues it's under Microsoft. Like that's the biggest thing. I just don't think I think if Xbox was its own independent company, not like that they say like they're ran like no, they're still under Microsoft. Like I don't care who you like that.
But if Xbox was its own company, it wouldn't have lasted this long. So,
but I think
them being backed by Microsoft.
But maybe it would have. Like I don't
so?
know. Maybe we don't know, but I think there's something to be said about game companies, and like think about it. Like if you think about when Xbox came around, the biggest game companies that were there. Right? We're not talking about a console, right? Potentially the console wouldn't have, but maybe it would have. But I think when you don't have like the big conglomerate that is Microsoft behind you, or if you were an Amazon behind you or Google behind you, you have to really scrap and really invest and really market. And I'm not talking marketing like advertising. I'm talking about marketing like understanding what gamers want, players want. I think there's been numerous stories. I think there's. Oh, you said Google? Well, no. Well, yeah, but that's my thing, right? If Stadia was on its like there's something to be said that these are not creative companies. Like at the end of the day, like I continue to say, Google's not a creative company. Right? This is why YouTube has going in its weird direction because it's now under Google, right? And it's over the years, it's gradually changed. I think the same thing about Microsoft's not a creative company. I think the same thing about Facebook. These are just not creative companies. So to think that they're going to create a creative, I think it's more miss than hit when they try to be creatives.
Hey, I got you on that Xbox podcast the other day too.
Oh my god!
I think you pissed that one guy off. I was like, oh man. I know he ain't talking about Boo like that. I thought I was gonna have to jump through the screen on him.
Oh my god!
He kept trying to talk over you. I was like, oh my god.
He was a good. Like I told, I was just trying to give a different side of the story. Like, right, the deal could go through, and or she could not give preliminary injunction or whatever. There could be any number of things. I was just trying to give another side of it, right? Because you get in these echo chambers and it's like, it's just an echo chamber. And so that's what I was trying to do. But thanks for coming by. Thanks for everybody who came by to hear that talk. I try to, it was a little hostile territory, not too much. I mean, the Xbox International crew, but that chat was a little different. they kind of hit hard. But Rune was out there. Thanks for coming by, Rune. And Obi, I think, also came by. Thanks, Obi, for coming by.
Man, Sega was awesome. I see y'all talking about Sega a little bit, but yeah, you're right. Sony did do Sega dirty, and it broke my heart because, like I said, like I just like gaming, and I felt like Sega had a lot of great IP. They had good consoles. Man, I can't tell you how many times we had like competitions on Sega Saturn and Sega Dreamcast back in the day, and me and my friends from my neighborhood, the neighborhood across the street, like we would all link up on Saturdays and just go to work, for hours on end on those consoles. So I definitely have a special place in my heart for Sega. And it sucked, but it is what it is. I felt like Xbox was going to be the next up and try to compete with PlayStation, and they somewhat did. They did a little bit, but they can't do it in the Japanese market, and that's been their biggest issue. And part of that is because of Sony.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think if they, I mean, we'll see. I think Xbox. I mean, they definitely have had their own issues, and like I don't know. They think like a tech company, and I think that's their biggest thing. As where Sony's a creative, like that's why I'm so high on Netflix gaming, because I think Netflix is a creative company. So I think like
Hold on, you doing the Netflix gaming thing?
no, eventually I will, but Netflix gaming, right? I did Netflix gaming because Netflix has Valiant Hearts, right? They have Valiant
Oh,
Hearts
okay.
2, the one where they talk about the Harlem Hellcats.
Mhm.
That was a collaboration between Netflix and Ubisoft. So I think like there is a way, but I think you need to be a creative company if you're going to do creative endeavors. That's just me. That's just me.
We'll see. I don't know. I think Netflix might be over their head. You know.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see, Geek. We'll see. But Geek, I'm gonna shut it down here in about the next minute or two.
All right. It's
But
nice chatting with you.
nice coming by. Thank you so much, Geek. You're always welcome. I do this once a month. Where I do it for the community. Y'all can hop in.
You need to do it once a week.
Nah, I gotta interview people.
You're too busy for that, huh?
I gotta tell everybody a story. I gotta tell everybody a story. So next week we're gonna have a great guest. We mentioned his name earlier. He's gonna be coming. It'll be a premiere, but I'll be in chat, y'all. And so I'm really looking forward to that conversation next week. But any last words, Geek?
Everybody be breezy, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week, and I hope everybody have a great weekend. Be safe. It's all love from over here. Just enjoy gaming. Have fun. I'm always around. I'm on everything. Look me up, Geek the Sneak. Sometimes I got the A behind the D. Sometimes it don't. But find me.
Okay, no, thank you so much, Geek, and always we got a game again. Rouster, same, and Cowboy. I know we got to do our thing too. But
Diablo 4.
Diablo 4 for sure. Diablo, I gotta get to that. Gotta beat Tears of the Kingdom first. But yeah, y'all. So I went long, but thank you so much to everybody in the community who came by and talked and came and shared the screen time with me. But it's about that time where I'm gonna say, I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, when you game, what you game on. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And as always, this is Purple Haze, and the proof is in the playing. All right. Take care, everyone, and peace. See ya.